Wow.
Tell him, Poseidon.
Live.
You tell me.
Tell him I like your style, Poseidon. Welcome, everybody. It's Friday morning. We are live. Top of the morning to you. Remember, this episode is brought to you by the lovely people over at Just Meat It. JustMeatIt.ca is where you go to get premium viande. That is a meat. Quebec-style meat. What I mean by Quebec style is these are local farmers. You're supporting local. No antibiotics. No performance-enhancing drugs, no steroids, no drug charges of any kind, no criminal records. These are great animals, kind, loving, smiling. Some of them, I have it on good authority, wear tiny little hats.
What?
And they help children around the farm. Yeah, these are good. These are good animals. They're good animals. JustMeatIt.ca. Use the promo code COMEDY because they like to laugh and you like to save 10% on your next order. JustMeatIt.ca. Also, head over to the Patreon. Patreon.com/Pantelis. Get Poseidon's latest adventures. Both Annabelle Elabette and the In-Bell Poseidon episodes this week were very good.
Yes.
Annabelle Elabette episode, he had two replacement co-hosts with him, showing their asses from what I understand.
Yes,
so
one of them.
it's essentially a soft core porn show when Poseidon's in charge. Only
Truly.
on Patreon. Patreon.com/Pantelis. The man in front of me, the bald assassin, the video editor that doesn't like to edit videos if it's for Apple, Phil, Biggity Balabanos.
Biggity?
Phil?
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
I am Phil Biggity Balabanos, and I do like to edit videos.
But not if it's for apples. Turning down Apple offers left and right.
Apple, the fruit.
The other guy who looks sad and counting his fingers. I don't know what's going on here with
what's
Just
up,
Us
George?
Dad's hero, George Jiggity Chandrizos. George, what does it matter? Why do you look sad? While the intro was playing, I thought you were crying.
Yeah, we were worried. We were talking to you, but couldn't hear us.
Yeah, no, I can't. When the intro plays, like it cuts off, I can't hear, so I just ignore you. So
Okay,
Yeah,
no,
but because you were looking down, you're looking at your thumbs like, what did we do? We broke
Holding-
him.
He was like this. He was like,
We broke George. We broke George. You know, so I was nervous.
Did you have to go to the bathroom?
No,
Is that
I
all?
was sending out a tweet, and then I was chatting in the chat there.
Oh,
I
you were
was sending
chatting.
out a message in the chat. I don't know what the
Ooh.
hell I look like, man.
Okay, I'm just
I
saying.
want
He
to see
looks
what
sad.
tweet he sent out
Look,
here.
George has a new episode of Just Us Dads that's dropping. What is it? Today at noon, right?
Today at noon. Yep.
Today at noon, and it is about gay dads. So it's just like every other episode
that
of
was-
Just Us Dads.
Yeah, that was last week.
It dropped.
Last week?
Oh, that was last week.
Pantelis suggesting every episode is about gay dads, guys, from here on.
Just the three of us blowing
So
each
what
other.
is it this week?
Oh, we went all over the place. We talked a little bit about kids and self-esteem. We spoke a little bit about movies. Have you guys seen Tenet?
Not yet.
I've seen it, but it was in the background.
Shit, man.
Can't watch Tenet in the background.
Yeah, that's what I realized.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, it's on my list. But you know what? Tenet is one of those movies that if you've had a long day and you're tired, don't watch Tenet.
You need to be
No,
awake.
no,
You need to be
pay attention,
fresh
yeah.
for Tenet.
I want to watch it for breakfast.
First of all, it's insane to know that someone's brain actually thinks of movies like this. Like what a. Anyway,
Well,
I
I
don't
mean,
want to ruin
it's
it
not
for
the first
Phil there.
time. It's
I'm
not the
sure
first
Phil
time.
knows what it's about.
I know
but,
more or less what it's
It's about time travel, no?
Yeah. It's my
Yeah, I
favorite,
love time
my favorite
travel.
genre.
If you put time travel in aliens, eyes are happy dudes.
What's your favorite time travel movie?
Oh, I don't know if I have a
Gun
favorite.
to your head, bro. I like saying it like a gun to your head, bro.
Fuck me.
It doesn't have to be a good movie, just something that you love.
It would be Back to the Future just because I could put it on and there's time travel and it's fun. It's
Okay.
wholesome, you know? But there's other stuff that I like more. Like I like, you know what I find, not just time travel, but also mixing with aliens. I like the ending of Battlestar Galactica when it was really Earth, but in the past and all that. I like that kind of stuff.
Spoiler alert.
Even Beast Wars did that. I like
Beast
that
Wars did do that, yeah.
kind of,
Beasties.
I like that kind of stuff.
No, I like Looper. Looper's a great fucking.
Oh, I like Looper
movie.
too. I like Looper too.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Jumanji.
Jumanji's not a time travel movie.
Jumanji is 100% of time. At the end of the movie, spoiler alert, they reset the timeline.
Are you talking about the original one or the new one?
original
Do
Jumanji?
they reset the timeline? Do they go back to before they got the board?
They go back to right before they got pulled in. The parents don't die. The black guy.
But that's not time travel. That just means that the rest didn't happen. That means that it was all in their imagination, Jumanji.
It wasn't
was
in
just
their
a game.
imagination.
It was just a board game.
No, it was an alternate timeline that was reset after the game.
That is some bullshit hippie stuff.
No,
it was
man.
all in their
Jumanji,
opium
there's
induced-
whole fucking subreddits
Yeah,
about how Jumanji is a time travel
Fuck
movie.
these subreddits. Goddamn Reddit. But Jumanji, I gotta rewatch it. If it's a time travel movie, I'll enjoy it. But I still enjoyed Jumanji. I remember when I was a kid, I loved
Jumanji's
Jumanji. There was Animals. There was Robin Williams.
I can't watch it anymore
Those board
because
games.
of Robin Williams. It makes me sad.
Why?
He's the only actor who passed away, and I'm sad about it. Like, I actually miss seeing him in things.
I know, but you should celebrate him.
I should, but I mean, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
We should celebrate Robin.
No, but Tenet is just next level. I mean, the way that
Well, think of George. Think of the other stuff Nolan's done.
Batman.
Not Batman. Well, I mean, Batman's a great series. It's a great franchise.
It's like Inception times 1,000. It's like that.
What about Memento? Memento 2 is super fucking.
That was
gorgeous.
him.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
one of
Oh,
the
this guy's
first-
obsessed with fucking backwards shit. Eh?
He is. He loves playing with non-sequential chronology in a film.
Crazy.
Fucking
It's
nerd.
crazy.
Nerd. He's British. That's why.
Oh,
Really well done.
on
Really well
Memento?
done.
Memento's on.
But it's like your brain is working like at all times. It's like,
Yeah,
where
yeah, yeah.
am I? What the hell is going on
Inception is great too.
right now?
dude,
Inception was amazing.
let's
Inception.
get fuck these movies. Let's get to the news right now.
Yeah.
All right, jiggity. George Chandrizzi.
Jesus.
Do you have an update for us? Because the only updates that I saw in terms of important news was on Twitter, where your friend, the great dishonorable Justice Trudeau, is trying to take away our goddamn rights and freedoms on the internet,
wrong
trying to
dishonorable?
dictate what people can say, what people can see, what people can watch, what people can post. All right.
Some kind of
Is
dictator.
that what he's trying to take away? Because I saw another tweet where
Yeah.
he's trying to take away our language, inventing words.
What do you do?
it's-
Yeah.
I don't understand.
He called it a she session.
What's that?
Who is
Excuse
who
me?
is
It's not a
giving
recession.
this
He said
advice? Who
it's
is
a
telling
she
him
session.
this is cool? He
My
pretty
bros
much
in the
referring-
mandemic, bro. All my bros in the mandemic are
I
telling
like
me.
the pandemic.
Fucking
The
idiot.
It's a
pandemic.
she session.
He appeals to the dumbest people. But it's so funny when I was reading the tweet, like replies,
crazy.
women, they're like, do you think we're this dumb? Do you really honestly think we're this dumb?
Man. No, but it's a serious issue. Like he is addressing a serious issue because statistically, yes, women have gotten the short end of the stick during this whole pandemic.
Yeah, women lost their jobs, right? You know who else lost their jobs? Everyone that lost
No,
their
I
jobs.
know, but statistically, there's
Statistically,
more
women
women
have
that
taken
got
a harder hit.
impacted by the pandemic. So here's what he wrote in the
Hold
tweet.
on.
okay?
Yeah, say the tweet because I'm gonna stop you right there.
So he says, the pandemic has threatened to stall much of the progress women have made over the past decades. In fact, many women have left their jobs in this past year. This isn't just a recession, it's a she session.
Okay. Up until the end, he was all right.
Our budget 2021 will help us do that. No, dude. I mean, this is like, what are you
So
doing?
were the
Why are you
women
inventing
actively
words? Like,
targeted? Were the women actively targeted by any system that the government put in place or anything that individuals did purposely to get women to stop working this year?
No.
No.
So then,
What I'm saying is that
What are you
if you
saying?
look at the
what I'm saying is because we're saying
the
it's a she
consequences
session,
of
and we got to look into.
Let's
No,
ignore
no,
the she session.
Forget the, but
not
the
a real
whole the
thing.
whole tweet, the she session is not a real thing, but the whole tweet is about how disproportionately women lost their jobs, and we got to look out for them.
Not women
which-
lost their jobs. What he's saying is only a kernel of truth. What's really happened is, and the only who is to blame really for the fact that women have taken a harder hit in the job force than men is the men those women are married to.
Well, no. The people who again, what the fuck are you talking about? The people who are to blame is the government that locked everything down, so these businesses can't run, so these women don't have jobs in those businesses. That's who's to
You're
blame.
taking it from that angle. Okay.
But the actual angle, who
that's-
stopped you
but
from
that's what
working?
it is.
The
That's
guy
what
that
it's
stopped
called.
you from
That's it.
working, the guy that stopped you from working just came out and said, it sucks what's happened to women, right? These guys. You're the one who fucking stopped these companies from being allowed to do business.
It wasn't the companies that. It wasn't the government closing the companies that caused the problem that women are disproportionately facing. It was the government
during the
closing-
pandemic.
It was the government closing schools. It was the government taking away the access to childcare that caused this part of the pandemic's problem.
What he said was
It's
that
only
they're
that.
losing their
If you
jobs,
look
not
at-
that they're
if you
leaving.
look
I'm not agreeing with him. I'm just saying what's actually
I'm
happening.
telling you, I'm arguing what he wrote. We're not
and
going to
I'm
do this whole
arguing that
side
he's
stuff.
wrong.
Of course he's wrong, bro. But come on, man. Like you can't argue what he's saying. But actually, I prefer blue than red. He never talked about blue and red. What he said, the cause that women is the same cause of why men lost their job this year.
Yeah.
Because they shut everything down.
Yeah.
So he can't then deflect it and be like, it's everybody else's fault. Ladies, are you with me?
No.
You fucked them over. You're the guy who fucked
I'm
them over.
just,
Tell the
I'm
truth.
just elaborating on what actually happened. That's it.
I hate this guy.
Me?
No, Trudeau.
What
No,
the fuck did I do?
you didn't do anything. It's this
George,
guy. I hate
George, I'll have my water now, please.
No, it's,
I mean-
fucking honestly, he pisses me the fuck off, dude, because he's deflecting. Like you had the ability to stop this shit from happening. You caused it, and then it's everyone else's fault, and we're attacking women. What are you talking about? You think anybody wanted this?
I mean, to put direct blame, all the blame. I mean, there's some blame on the virus itself, right? Like,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
had to shut down in the early phase. Like, we needed to do something. What happened after is a whole different. Like, I don't know if we made the right
Exactly. I
calls.
mean, the consequences that follow the decisions that the government made is impacting women. Like, for example, you look at the restaurant industry. There are much more women that work in that industry than the men. The frontline workers, there are much more women working as frontline workers. So, just the nature of everything happening has been impacting women much more. Obviously, the fact that the whole daycare situation as well. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, blaming Trudeau that he closed everything down. I don't know if he closed everything down. I mean, he's just doing what he has to do, and it's exactly what every other premier is doing. It's just that those sectors of our industry affect more women than men, and that statistically it's true. Now, and I don't have a problem with what he's saying and how he's managing to kind of counterbalance it through measures in the budget. But can you fucking be serious about it, man? Like a recession. Like, I mean, you haven't fucking put your foot in your mouth one too many times. What the hell's wrong with you? I don't understand. Like, they think it's cool. Like, you're bringing a lighter tone to this crisis by reinventing words, and
he's just trying to show that he's got his finger on the clitoris.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Boyfriend's testicles.
He's like, anyway, while my wife is out fucking loving women, I'm taking care of you guys.
But this whole fucking, it's a circus. It's a fucking circus. Look at how much I love women. I fuck them over, but I'm making up fun words about it.
Remember when you said
I'm so
people
woke.
kind?
People kind.
That's what it is. You just nailed it. I'm so woke. That's it. That should be his slogan. Vote Trudeau. I'm so woke.
Yeah, he's trying to demonstrate his wokeness for some fucked up reason. I don't know. I mean, I saw that and I was like, this is ridiculous. Then I have Biden on the other fucking side of the fence, who's like, he wants to ban. Actually, they're putting a ban for menthol. First of all, what hooker is smoking menthol cigarettes? And then I
don't know actually.
And then when they said the ban, like me, I assumed, okay, you're not allowed to sell them anymore. Where they're not going to manufacture something like that. But it's like, no. If we find people with smoking the menthols, then they have to have fines or jail time, shit like that. So then people are like, well, wait a second, now you're gonna fuck over the black community because a lot of menthol smokers are in these communities, and now you're just trying to put more black. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? Is the government actually considering giving fines to people for smoking menthol? Like, just crazy shit.
I mean, I can kind of understand banning the sale of menthol cigarettes.
Just ban it completely. Don't have it around and then give. It's
like
crazy.
The vaping here. They got rid of the flavors, the ones that have nicotine, because kids like them.
There you go.
I mean, I don't know what kid is smoking a menthol cigarette. Like,
I thought only like trash hookers
and Kazakhs. Only Kazakhs.
Yeah,
they smoke menthols. The only person I've ever known who smoked menthols was like a surly burly Kazakh fellow. They're disgusting. Okay.
So what are you talking about? C10 there, the bill C10. You read further into it?
Yeah, I was looking into it because here's the fucked up thing. So apparently in the beginning, conservatives, everybody was for C10 because the way it was framed is the liberals had said, this is a good thing. What we're going to do is we're going to take over the basically broadcasting, kind of like how the CRTC does it for terrestrial radio and television. And we're going to govern so that we're assured that there's Canadian content, that we like what they're saying. It's going to be a level playing field for regular Canadians and Canadian content and Netflix and all that. We're going to regulate so the big people don't take over. And they put an exemption in there that says we cannot dictate with this. We can't
user-created content.
We can't censor user-created content, post, all that, right? Which is like, okay, so you're protecting freedom of speech, but you want to level the playing field. But then last week, they went in, the liberals, and they did an amendment. They took that part out. So that then they could go against your posts, your tweets, your podcasts, whatever you do.
When did they first table this? Like
a few months ago, I think. And then and then that's when the conservatives and a lot of other people, I guess some liberals too, are like, ooh, this is the old guy that used to be in charge of the CRTC is like, this is Saudi Arabian shit. So it's just crazy how they did that. They go, look, guys, it's to protect you. It's good. And the second you're not looking, they go in, they're like, yeah, fuck these assholes. No. They can't say anything.
I just don't understand the need for this bill. Like, I really can't. Like, I don't understand who he brought this to, and they were like, you know what? That's exactly what we need. This is exactly what we need. Everyone's going to go for this. It's paramount to like a fucking direct assault on our democracy. Yeah. You can't say shit because we said otherwise.
Yeah. And if you can't criticize us, you can't. But I tweeted, he's demonstrating that the old, that old saying is actually true. You paint your skin enough times, it gets really thin. Really, really, really thin.
Okay. I mean, this is a place for you to experiment and try things out. It's fine. Yeah.
No, but I like that one.
It's a good one.
I liked where it was going, but I didn't understand its punchline.
It means he's thin-skinned. He doesn't like the criticism. That's why.
You're saying that's why he's trying to shut us up.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It's okay. This is for people that have an IQ of at least 80 and over. It's
I see.
They get the.
But also because
he didn't get it all. He's just laughing at blackface paint.
Yeah, that's
yeah, exactly.
But that's the only part of the joke he got.
No, that's not the only part.
You got that he was thin-skinned.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know if you did.
No, I did.
Either way, I appreciate your
I got both.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's surprised.
HIV and syphilis.
Yeah.
You forgot AIDS.
That's not both. That's wait, what?
All right,
It's
let's move on
It's
over to
HIV.
Quebec because some major things happened yesterday. The health minister announced that all Quebecers will be eligible for a vaccine appointment in a little more than 2 weeks. So basically,
By
the
May 14th.
vaccination is now opening to the general population.
How funny is that people were so when it was opening up to more levels, people were just not showing up, and then they're like, okay, just open it to everyone. We can't do anything. Did you see
Yeah,
the photos of the
right.
place?
It was when they got to the 50 to 40, no, the 60 to
It-
50. It was that
Yeah,
gap. They were just like,
55
nah.
to 60.
It was all the boomers. They're like, no, we're good. We're just gonna stay home.
The only people that would make sense saying nah would be like 20-year-olds, 25-year-olds if they're healthy. Like that, I could see them being like, nah, I'll wait. But it's funny when they went to the people like, you might be most at risk. They're like, I don't trust you.
Yeah, but it also felt at a time where there was all these negative
a lot of
negative
bad
press
press about
on
the vaccines, yeah.
AstraZeneca, and these are the shots that are being administered now, right? So anyway, so basically we're down to the 50s, 50 to 60, 50 to
Actually,
59,
George,
let's say.
George, hold on a second.
They will be available. They'll be eligible to book their appointment as of today, and then every second day starting next week, we will be reducing by 5 years. So by the end of next week, anyone over 35 will be eligible to register for a shot, and as of May 14, the government will allow anyone over 18 years old to book an appointment. Look, they're seeing this as a ray of light, in this pandemic cycle. So they're moving towards their plan to have everyone vaccinated by June 24th, or at least everyone that wishes to have the vaccine administered to be able to get it by June 24th. Look, we spoke about this on other episodes. I mean, if we reach 75% of the population, we will have enough vaccines to reach herd immunity. I think that's pretty much the trick over here. That's what they're aiming for. The Quebec Public Health Director, Dr. Arruda, said that the question of vaccinating teenagers is still being studied. So we're not sure exactly what's happening. They're exploring the question of having vaccines done in schools, just to be sure that they actually do get it. Kids have already been vaccinated at schools. I remember when I was in elementary school, there was the meningitis shot that they were giving us.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember that at all.
Well, I don't know if you were in elementary when I was in elementary. So
We were well, I mean, yeah, there's a 5-year gap. It's true.
yeah.
By the way, George, I heard a hilarious story.
Tell
A friend
me.
of a friend he signed himself up. He's like 32 as an essential worker, went to get his vaccine. So he gets there and they're like, you're an essential worker? He's like, yeah. What do you do? I work for my dad. They're like, what do you mean? He goes, I collect the rents, bro, for his building. They're like, that's not essential. He's like, oh. They're like, whatever, you're here now. You're in the chair. We'll vaccinate you.
Since they don't check,
think
why didn't he
about
say
that.
something else? You're an
Yeah.
essential worker.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I'm a doctor.
Dr. Pantelis. Good to meet you.
Dr. Pence. But I just love the fact that, like, well, you're here, so fuck it, whatever.
What kind of doctor are you? I'm a theoretical physicist.
Yeah. It's essential work. It's God's work, really.
I mean,
I rip the face off of nature and stare God in the eyes every day.
theoretically.
Only
we can
George
get
laughs
physical.
at my jokes.
So basically, as we speak, we have more than 3 million vaccines that have been administered here in Quebec, and we have over 65,000 second doses. So we're just below the 30% mark. Are we ever going to reach the 75? I don't know. I hope we do. I mean,
Well, why wouldn't we?
I'll be
people
honest
don't
with you
wanna get
guys because we've
vaccinated.
spoken about this. If whether or not we were considering getting vaccinated,
Present
and we
company.
all thought that it'll never come down to our age. I mean, by the time that they're done vaccinating everyone else, everything will be over. I mean, that's where my mindset was, right? But now it's like in 2 weeks. Actually, not even in 2 weeks. In a couple of days, I'm eligible. And I'm talking to my wife. I'm like, should we do it? I'm like, I didn't think we'd
I'm
ever
not
get
as
to
old
this
as you.
part.
Am I eligible?
You're eligible as of May 10th or 15th? May 15th.
Oh, nice.
No, or May 1st.
No. Yeah. May 14th. By May 14th, it's 18 and
18 to
over. So
24,
before
yeah.
May 14th, you'll be able to get it.
Yeah.
Before May 14th.
Yeah, so in the next
Yeah.
10 days, you'll have
Nice. So in the
eligibility.
next 10 days, I can say no.
Yeah. Well, they're not going to ask you. You can just not do it.
That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, okay. No, look, I got my vaccine. It sucked for a few days. I don't know.
You got the Pfizer, right?
Yeah, I got the Pfizer vaccine. It was, it wasn't that weird. It was a vaccine. I've had many vaccines in my life. I know I'm going to have to get boosters. Like, I understand the science behind vaccine. I mean, rudimentarily, I understand it. So I know that I'll need boosters if this is the type of vaccine that it is.
My cousin, who recently got COVID, like a month and a half ago, and he was in, decided to get the vaccine a few days ago, and it completely fucked him up.
Really?
Because he had COVID recently. When I was getting the vaccine,
I was like, why am I haven't asked him. I'll send him a message later. Like, why you just had COVID?
Yeah.
You just had what they're trying to replicate.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Well, look, it's a 2-dose vaccine, right? Which means if you have COVID, you only get 1 dose of it. Because it's that second infection that really, like, primes the...
Fuck you up.
No, it primes the... Yeah, it also fuck you up, but it primes the immune system. So, like, you're allowed to get it if you've had it. You just don't have to get it twice. But, like, Korma, for example, who had, like, the mildest COVID, it was, like, flatulence and laziness, which he has anyways.
Yeah, I was about to say, you sure it was the COVID?
No, it was COVID. Like, he had... he lost smell and stuff like that. So... they're like, how long ago? He's like, I don't know, like 9 months, you know, very Costa style.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, you're going to do 2 doses. Like, bro, I don't care. Just give me. Like, he just didn't care.
I am not a physician. I am not a doctor.
But if that man can survive.
Here's what I recommend for you guys. If ever, I don't know, the flu gets you fucked up, like big time, or you have respiratory don't miss a chance to get vaccinated. Because I've seen in people who, they're pretty healthy. And this destroys them. This puts them like at the brink.
Athletes, right?
Even athletes.
Yeah.
So be very wary. It's not obviously there's some people.
I heard beep beep.
You know, I was like be very because I was gonna make a joke that no one's gonna get the reference of, so it's contextually. Anyways, this priest
It's
that
fine,
I know,
it's fine.
that's how he talks. He goes, be careful.
Be careful.
But you guys wouldn't have. Anyways, so be careful. Yeah, be careful. So be careful. That's what I'm saying. So in general, most, as we can see, or else the planet would have been fucked up, most people could be fine without it. They get it. But then you see things. By the way, something suspicious. I was taking a look at what you guys spoke about last time about India.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I noticed the same thing in Brazil.
Yeah.
So India, I was watching the videos. I was seeing the fires in those like shanty towns, those blankets, all that. Nobody finds it a little odd that in all these places, Brazil, and it's places that kind of have caste systems.
So like favelas and shanty towns.
Yeah, those
it's not.
it's all the poor people that are outperforming in the death Olympics in those countries. And
I
then
don't find that suspicious. I find it very obvious. And
how so?
I mean, they're living in cramped quarters with bad hygiene and no access to healthcare.
Okay. But that's not, hold on.
Okay.
But that's not what the cause of death is. The cause of death is they're saying this strain, right, in India, the Indian variant, let's say.
No, I'm not saying that is the cause of death. I'm saying that because of those factors, this thing is ravaging them.
Okay.
When it would not ravage a regular part of society.
Well, no, we don't know that because as far as I'm concerned, like I said, there's even athletes that are super healthy and they get killed here too with the regular COVID.
Individually, I mean the spread, how fast it's spreading.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're 50
but India's
living
dense
in a
in
house,
general. India's dense in general. So that's what I'm saying is it
That's true.
seems to be
That's true.
really affecting. Like, anyways, that's a little fucking weird. Like I saw that same thing in Brazil. I go, that's
Same
fucking.
thing happened in France when they had their massive wave. I don't know how it's doing now. I haven't looked, but it was mostly in the what are they called in France? The cités.
Yeah, there's something weird about that.
I mean, look.
Well, it wasn't the case in Italy, though.
In Italy, it wasn't the case. In Italy, but in Italy, it was attacking the elderly.
Yeah, in Italy, it was attacking people that we
And
know
they
are
had
vulnerable.
a lot of elderly people
Yeah,
in Italy.
and they have a lot of old people. That's what happened. There.
Honestly, no one's more surprised than me that Greece has fared so, and like knock on wood, for a population that is one of the oldest populations per capita in Europe. Somehow the old Greek people have been dodging this fucking thing.
Because they're old Greek people. That's why.
Like they've been dodging fucking COVID like crazy.
They're fucking drinking. They're eating cement. They're fine, bro. They're good. They're.
I love those memes of people like showing how they're taking care during COVID. Not memes, but they're like TikToks. They're like putting on the gloves and the mask and they're freaking out. And then grandpa's at the supermarket like... Just no mask, no nothing. Doesn't give a fuck.
But what I'm saying is be careful. I know that we feel invincible all the times. I feel invincible all the time.
I don't.
Just be. Oh, it's true. Yeah, he's
I do not feel.
lactose intolerant. A
does that have to do
a
with
strong
anything?
wind can melt him. He's
No,
a
wind,
fragile
I'm
young
actually
man.
immune to wind. I'm very
It doesn't go
aerodynamic.
through me anymore. No, but it's because
I fly.
just because what I've seen in my experience with the people that I know anecdotally, it's sometimes it's weird who gets hit the hardest, and sometimes it's the healthier person. So, and they were hit really, really hard. So just because of that, do what you can to be safe. So if you're eligible and, it's not the AstraZeneca one or the Johnson, if you could get the Pfizer one.
I mean, the Johnson & Johnson one it's weird because it is the most traditional of all the vaccines. There's nothing new about how they made it. It's a 1-dose, simple vaccine, nothing fancy, and it's causing problems.
Yeah, what's
Weird,
the issue?
right?
We don't have that yet, right here.
I don't think so, no.
Studied or
It's the Johnson & Janssen. It's that one.
Janssen and Janssen.
I think, so don't forget, the virus that we're trying not to get also causes blood clotting, right? For some reason. It's an immune response system,
well, look, if
right?
you're a woman, I would say avoid AstraZeneca, just in case. It's small, the percentage of the blood clot, but because it's higher in women, actually it's 100% so far women that are getting the blood clots with AstraZeneca, but just, that's it. It doesn't mean that you could avoid everything. If you have to get the vaccine, you're nervous and that, just be like, I don't want to get that one.
Maybe get another one.
Yeah,
it seems right now like Moderna is the safest vaccine. Because now there's reports coming out of Israel that's like super vaccinated, that the second dose of Pfizer is causing myocarditis in men under 30. I mean, it's not fatal, but it hurts.
Myocarditis or urocarditis?
Everyone's carditis. It's like a swelling of the muscles around the heart.
That's not good.
It's like strep throat can cause it also, right? Like I know someone who actually had strep throat and their heart like swelled up.
Very, very crazy.
You don't die,
Very
but
scary.
it hurt very much,
My God.
So that's scary. But again, this is an immune response.
You can die.
You can die, yeah, but if you know that you're
Just
like,
be careful, so I'm saying. Be careful out there.
But there's also a lot of bullshit. Like they're saying now that I went down a deep dark hole on the internet. They're saying that the Pfizer vaccine is causing, which I don't know how they could even make a statement like that, prion diseases 10 years down the line. Like mad cow disease is a prion disease, by the way, like dementia, Parkinson's, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, Parkinson's is scary, man.
So
and depressing.
exactly, it's terrifying, and it's in the future. You can't even disprove it. So I found the article, the original source article. It's from a medical publication, which isn't real, doesn't exist. And vaccine is spelled with 2 X's throughout the entire thing.
Yeah,
but the story got picked up and people ran with it.
Yeah, we talked about
We were talking
on Wednesday.
with each other.
Here on the show, I think.
I don't think so. I only found out about it
we
yesterday.
spoke about it live. Yeah.
Oh, did we? Okay, fine.
Talk about on the show.
okay.
Anywho, but no
which conversations we have with each other and which ones we have here.
no vaccine, none of that shit is 100% safe. That's why I'm saying.
No, nothing is.
And even Rogan, they were trying to shit on Rogan this week, but what he said, because even the White House spoke about him. They go, is Joe Rogan a fucking doctor? Because what Joe Rogan said was, vaccines are safe for the most part, obviously. I'm not telling you not to get your vaccine. He goes, but if you're 21, go get your vaccine. But if you're 21 years old and you're fucking healthy and you ask me, should I go get it? He's like, no, just fucking be healthy. That's the first thing you should do. And then they took that quote and they said, he said if you're 21, you shouldn't take don't go take the vaccine. But you have to see the whole clip in context to understand that what he was saying was.
Technically, he did say that, but they said a lot of other things.
Yeah,
too.
it's just if you take something out of context, you know what I mean?
I like that Bill Burr clip from the old studio before they moved, where he's like, "Let's get into it." He's like, "I'm not gonna get into it with you. I'm not a doctor. You're not a doctor. You're sitting in front of an American flag. We're smoking cigars." No, I mean, like, yeah, that's a flip side of the argument where you're not having a discussion because, but at the same time, I get it. Bill Burr's like, "I don't fucking know."
Hey, nobody knows.
Nobody knows. You get all the vaccines. You get a good spread, and you're good.
That's if you want to get. But we do know.
Superpowers.
Well, we do know that. Like for example, like we know now, like some people did die or had because of the vaccines.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing is safe. Getting the vaccine or not getting the vaccine, you're never truly. We're so fragile as human beings.
We could die
Something's
right here.
gonna kill us.
This whole roof could fall down on us.
So just do things that are in your best interest. For example, if you are a woman, you're middle-aged, and you're gonna get a vaccine, avoid the AstraZeneca is what I would do if I was in your shoes.
Yeah,
That's what I would do. Just logically, I'd be like, okay, let me put everything in my favor at least. That's what I would do.
That's fair.
But if you say that, you're like, are you an anti-vaxxer? What about my statement sounded like an anti-vaxxer? Like
Maybe you're an anti-AstraZeneca for ladies.
I'm an anti-Zener.
You're an anti-Zenite.
Yeah, I'm an anti-Zenite, yeah.
George.
Anyway,
George, are you gonna get vaccinated though? Like, what's your process? What do you think?
I think I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it. I'm not sure where my wife stands, but
I mean, she can survive anything.
I
She's
don't
not
take
like you.
risks, man. When I'm seeing Olympic athletes being,
Floored.
completely controlled. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I feel like you're gonna get it and your wife won't because you're frail and from a city and she grew up somewhere in the Andes, so she's fine.
Yeah.
Her lung capacity is better. She can exist at higher altitudes
Because of the
with less
mountain,
oxygen.
the mountain life.
Yeah,
Bro, mountaineers are good, bro. They're hardcore.
she's like, I think I'm getting a runny nose. Pass me the coca leaves. Pupils
All right,
dilate. I'm good. No COVID.
Let's stay on the health topic here.
Yeah, we are. Coca leaves. It's a good one.
Yeah. So Quebec's national health director, he indicated yesterday that he will be making public in the next couple of days more of his recommendations sent to the premier.
Oh,
So basically, these are written notices that he exchanges privately with the premier with
they're text
respect.
messages.
The best thing would be if he's like, "Hey, that ass, what do you think, huh? Why is this?" And oh shit, sorry.
She's the juicy one.
I mean, if you guys recall, earlier this year, he had released 14 recommendations, following which the premier came under a lot of criticism for being selective on which health measures to apply or not to apply.
Yeah,
I
he
don't know if
picked
you
them
guys
out of a
remember.
hat.
Yeah, so with the whole closing down the restaurants and all that stuff, that weren't recommendations by the health director. So this time around, the notices, and Pantelis will love this, that he will release the ones that we're expecting in a couple days.
By the way,
They
are
will-
we all in? We're not. Nobody here except for Phil, who already got it. We're not. Are we interested in getting vaccinated? You no, me no. You George?
You said maybe.
I think I will. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I probably will.
You're an older man though, and you have more stresses than I do. So
I just believe in science, and I'm just too scared to face the consequences.
what do you mean? I
should I
believe in
take it?
science. That's like saying if somebody doesn't want to take it, they don't believe in science.
No, it's your personal choice. I just think that the consequences of getting it and suffering from it are much scarier than to just take the vaccine and
Not
be
really,
done
bro. My mother got it and beat it, bro. She's an asthmatic with
Yeah, his
sinus
mom had it
problems.
last week. I got her some quercetin and shit like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, his mom had it.
last week.
His mom, the
Yeah.
asthmatic, yeah.
She just beat
They don't
it,
live together.
on Sunday.
Yeah, but you can't just take
She's asthmatic
selective
with
examples
sinus
like
problems.
that. The one,
and
You
joint
you know why you
problems.
can't take select examples? Because my boy Preach, who's way tougher than his mom, got rattled for 2 months and his lungs were fucked.
you know what I
That's-
mean?
yeah. But that's what I'm saying. It's that's the scary part about this thing is because you legitimately don't know. You could get I guarantee you could get like a fat obese person and like aged and they
at
could
Boris.
beat it. Yeah, and then you could get fucking an athlete and he gets drilled. It's so crazy.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah,
It's
that's
that's
fine.
why I'm saying have they discovered yet?
They don't know why.
They don't know why.
don't.
What's that? That to me is the interesting. The math about that. The division of what's the common ground that really
seem to
fucks
be any.
people. Because in the beginning they were touting all kinds of theories. Remember, in the beginning it was black people don't get it. Then it was fuck black people get it worse than everybody else. Then it's like, do they get it worse than everybody else? They were just densely populated. They were trying to figure out what's causing it. Like what makes it so bad in specific people.
So
And-
random.
Yeah, and so far,
It may just be DNA related, no? Like
but that's what we're saying. There's something like just like everything. Every
Could just
virus
be
affects
chance
people differently.
also.
how like when the colonizers came to North America, you know what I mean?
Colonizers.
You know the sicknesses that they had that they didn't really get affected by.
That's not DNA. That's primarily because these were new viruses to the people they were encountering. Whereas in Europe they were endemic
Well, yeah,
for centuries.
exactly, but
Not
Developed an immunity.
Different. Completely different.
Yeah.
There was
I see.
completely
I see.
different. Like if an alien race came down and they had a cold virus that we've never seen, it would eradicate us.
Yeah.
Most likely.
Or fuck, they could
Or
come
we
here.
just shut down the governments for a while. They shut down all the
Herpes
essential
might kill
services.
them. The aliens.
Yeah, herpes might kill
Sure.
them. What movie is that? Where like
War of the Worlds.
Yeah, War
is
of
it
the
War of the
Worlds.
Worlds?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
our
yeah, yeah.
oxygen, I think. Was it the oxygen that eventually
Something simple. Yeah.
Something simple, something like microbes.
Yeah, microbes took them out.
Yeah. Microbes took them out. Their shield defenses fell and all that
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, good times. Their shield defenses.
Like, how are all these shield defenses? And then the guy's like, I got blown and I didn't know she was going to give me. Damn it, Gorlock! Getting your dick sucked on every planet we go to. You've compromised the mission.
Anyway,
I'm only Simeon.
It's funny because I would be Gorlock.
You would be Gorlock. You are Gorlock. Gorlock the Great. At fucking things up.
Gorlock the mediocre.
Yeah.
No. Like anyways.
Gorlock the.
anyway, so like I was saying, I think Pantelis is gonna like this because the new recommendations that he's going to be releasing have to do with curfew, specifically. So we'll see exactly what's been going on around that, and more specifically on the urgent measures that were taken for Quebec City, the Outaouais, and the Chaudière-Appalaches regions recently, where they had to just close everything down. I mean, everyone is furious, especially the opposition parties up in Quebec City, because like it's such a selective way that this public information is being handled. I mean, you're exchanging information with a premier. It has to do with public health. Why is it kept secretive? And let me remind you guys that last year, both Dr. Arruda and the Premier were saying that there weren't any written recommendations, and everything was done, verbally and through discussion. And today we know that, in fact, there are many recommendations that Arruda has been exchanging with the Premier. So the reason why that has been made public, I really don't know. But eventually everything will end up coming out, I guess. I mean, we'll see. I mean, the first time around, it was horrible to see how, specifically with the restaurants, how it was never recommended for them to close, and yet they have been suffering so much during this whole pandemic. So
yeah.
It's because CAC leads to Lego, and Lego leads to suffering.
Sure. Guys, on Wednesday I spoke to you about the reform.
I mean, we voted for the CAC. It was inevitable that it would fuck us.
Yeah, fucked by the CAC, a Quebec love story.
That's funny.
So we spoke a little bit about last episode on Bill 101 and the reforms that the government is making, and there's some news that came out yesterday, and I just wanted to kind of update that story.
Can I say some funny anecdotal about this?
Yeah.
I asked my mom what she thinks.
Okay, yeah.
About what?
About Bill 101, in general, Bill 101 and the fears of the French language being lost. Yeah. And, my mom said, bro.
Yes, I want to know.
Fuck yeah, they have to protect the French language. Of course it's getting lost. She goes,
Really?
Yeah. She goes, of course they have to protect it. She goes, and then I said, what about the method they're using of basically French kids can't go to English? She's like, no, that's stupid. That's going to hurt it more. She goes, but they do have to protect it. She kind of has the same mindset that I do. She said, and she understands French a bit, but she's not like a fluent like me or anything like that. And even she said, she's like, yeah, this is Quebec. This is where they live. They have to fucking protect their language. It's just the method they're going about it may be stupid, but the logic behind it is, she goes, it's flawless. Of course they have to protect it. She goes, it's the only place that speaks around here. He goes, how can you say that they don't? Yeah. Which I didn't say they don't. I agree.
I've always thought they should use the Greek potato method of protecting French. You know the story about how Greece got potatoes? Like one of Greece's first governors, he wanted to introduce potatoes, but all the Greeks were like suspicious and they're like, what is this potato? We don't eat this. So he put them all under lock and key with like 5 inept guards and said, nobody can have these. So the Greeks stole them. So when you make something exclusive, people want it. They're like, why can't I have it?
This is what I've been saying.
Funny.
So just take away French. Be like, nah, you got to wait in line to learn French. Everybody's going to get in line.
No. They're
going to be hype beasts about it.
To the point where you criminalize it.
No, okay, don't be stupid.
What I'm saying is it should be...
Gorlock.
I personally, I'm very confident in my method that in Quebec, children have to be fluent in both. They should know both languages growing up, both. It gives power to everyone. That's what it should be.
100 languages. I've been trying to get my Spanish better. I've been using Duolingo for like a week.
Yeah. But my mom is just funny because you'd think, okay, a Greek lady, she knows more English, she does French, and that would be like, no, we don't want French.
That's not a choice thing, probably, in her case.
She's funny. She's like, no, what are you talking about? Of course they have to protect it, bro. This is Quebec. Like, are you crazy?
Most.
And I was like, interesting. And I go, what do you think of the method of that? Like, basically, French kids won't be able to go to English schools and English. She goes, no, that's stupid. That's going to hurt it. She understood exactly the way I saw it. But she's with protecting it.
No,
which that's interesting because they said the ethnics don't want.
That was never
to
the
protect.
case.
But I'm saying what was being said. That was. Do you remember? That was the whole thing. And there's no one more ethnic than my mom.
When I was growing up, and like in the early '90s, when the whole language debate came about again in '95, though, I was still young. I was always under the impression that the French people hate the ethnics. That was my understanding of what was going on. With the referendum.
Because that's what the news made it seem like. Yeah, that's what the news made it seem like.
They hated us and they wanted us to leave.
Yeah, but also the government was telling them the ethnics are the ones that are fucking you over. But
it was never the case.
It was never the case.
Yeah, that didn't help either, right? Where they lose the referendum and that was the excuse.
Like, la vote technique, what do you say?
Who, the Parizeau? No,
yeah.
Fucking Jack.
Yeah, anyway.
But George, language is used. Do your kids speak 3 languages now, right? Or 4?
4.
Do you speak any of them like properly, or they're just like still learning?
They're kids.
No. I mean for kids. I don't mean like can they have a fucking.
Look, they mix them up now, right? I mean they're still kids, but the fact that they know the words and they can kind of integrate them in a sentence, it's
good.
Pretty impressive.
That's good. I heard my daughter speak French for the first time the other day to one of her friends, and I was like, "Holy shit, she speaks French!"
Isn't it amazing?
I thought she was having a hard time. I had asked her teacher, I go, "Does she speak French?" She's like, "Oui." I'm like, "Does she speak to you?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, all right, this is suspicious. So sometimes I'll speak to her in French. She just looks at me like I'm crazy. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And she'll just disregard me. And I'm like, fuck, she doesn't speak French.
Oh, this is hilarious.
But she does, apparently.
One of the big stories today is that Joe Rogan totally agrees with medical experts about both the risks and benefits of vaccinations. But let's see if we can make it seem like he doesn't.
Amazing.
What? Fuck, bro, that's hilarious.
That's amazing. Yeah. Context is it's fucking great.
Yeah.
No, but yeah,
So-
languages are great. George, how many languages? You speak 3, yeah? You don't speak 4?
I speak a little Spanish.
Oh, just a bit?
Come out of here. Look at this guy trying to brag. He's like, hey, mamacita.
I understand.
Señorita.
I understand much more than I can speak it, though.
Yeah, me too.
But
I mean, Spanish is, let's be serious. Spanish is an easy language to learn.
It is. It is.
Like,
It depends what you speak. If you speak a similar language like French, Italian, maybe even Portuguese, it'll
if
be
you speak
easier.
another like Romance Latin language, I mean, if you speak one Romance language, including French, especially French actually, and you speak Greek, Spanish is easy.
Yeah,
to transition.
yeah. That's why I think Spanish. I understand when people
If
speak.
you speak Italian, it's hard because then you just get confused because they're basically the same language, just with
kinda
funnier
similar.
accents. Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's really all it is. You know,
Portuguese must be weird.
Portuguese is fucking like Down syndrome version of a language.
No, it's the way I've heard it described is deaf Spanish, and it does sound a bit like that. It does sound like that, but it doesn't sound bad.
Hola.
It's just if you've never heard Spanish before, it sounds normal. But
Yeah.
if you've heard Spanish,
No, that's not true. Even if you haven't, you hear Portuguese, you're like, are those people all right?
really,
It's there's a lot of
Well, in my head,
Yeah,
I always considered it retarded Spanish.
yeah. I
yeah,
mean, that's
because you
how it
heard
kinda
Spanish.
sounds.
If you hadn't heard Spanish, you wouldn't have.
like this weird. It's like a weird mix between Spanish and Italian.
But
and,
the reason why
and a
you
little
think
French.
it's a weird mix is because in our lives here in North America, and Spanish is so prevalent. You're like, yeah, it should
Yeah.
be C, like
Well,
that.
I
You're
see
used
you're
to.
a proponent of Iberian Spanish. Me too, I like that.
So
Te di-
you,
como
you're
te
used
dice.
to that, right? So then when you hear somebody and you're like, you feel like they're trying to say it instead of they're saying, "Wait," and you're like, what the fuck's he saying? That's why it seems different. If you haven't been exposed to Spanish first, it's another language. Like, oh, okay, he's
Do
speaking.
you know
another
the story of Portugal's creation? Like about? I'm not
No,
gonna get
I
into
have
detail.
no idea.
A bunch of rich Spanish people went there and like, we are Portugal now. That was it. They're like, we have our own country.
Really?
I mean, that's an oversimplification.
Hold on, let me
They just
check.
basically took control of the ports.
Poseidon,
and they're
fact check that.
We are Portugal. And they're like, okay, but we got to change the language a bit. Okay, in Spanish, how we say thank you? Gracias. Sí, sí. Okay. Obrigado. Okay, that's good. We're
But
gonna use
why'd
that.
you say it like that? That's
How they say it.
No, they don't. Obrigado is
Yeah,
that's
all right,
nice.
fine.
Come on, now you're
Fine,
they're
fine,
like, oh, but it's like saying how do you say hello? And like these English people, hello. Nobody says hello like
That's
that.
German.
Come
That's
now.
German. This is German, yeah. No,
Anyway,
but and if you want to hear drunk French, listen to Catalan. That's an interesting language.
Yeah,
Sounds
it
like
is
really
interesting.
drunk
It's
French.
It's an interesting dialect.
Yeah.
But I read
It's not a
somewhere
dialect,
that
it's a language.
I read somewhere that the whole thing with the that that they use in Spain isn't the real language. I read somewhere that it was changed because some king or
Had a
whatever
lisp.
had like a speech impediment.
Yep.
And
No.
he couldn't pronounce the S's, so it was like, and then everyone had to change the way they spoke because the
That's
king couldn't
real
pronounce
power.
the
That's
S.
power.
That is real power.
What's what Trudeau's doing now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Trudeau's doing now. He can't handle the truth, so he's changing everything. He's like, we all have to agree to allow him to decide for us what we can and cannot
Is
say.
that true, George?
What?
The
About what?
dice.
That's what I
That's
read.
what I heard.
somewhere.
I heard
Yeah,
that
I
too.
don't know if it's- I remember reading something about that. I don't know. Maybe
You know how the
maybe-
French always
That's
say that
true.
Quebec French is like a degradation of the language, but like if you think about it,
It's closer to the real
It's closer
French.
to the old French that came here.
Yeah.
It developed differently.
100%.
So interesting. Languages are really cool.
Because France was able to evolve and they took a lot of Anglicisms more than
Yeah.
Quebec because they were free. So they didn't feel the need to, oh no, we can't say arrête. We could say stop because they felt free.
Stop.
Whereas here, because they were scared to lose their language, they try to hold on to as much as they could. So it's
So interesting.
So even though the French make fun of Quebec, the way they speak, forget trash, but in general, here the way the languages is closer to French of what it was
Like
back then.
Middle French,
In France,
whatever
yeah.
it was at the time. Yeah, even the accent.
So,
Oh, honestly,
here's what's
I could read
happening
about
with
them
Bill
forever.
101. Because at this moment, just so you can, so I can explain to you what the credits are. Because when the budget is tabled, usually a month following that, a month and a half about, they study the credits. So every minister has to be present to his respective or her respective committee, and they have to explain exactly how the money is being spent and why and all that stuff. So including the premier, his cabinet attends these credit hearings. So he's there. And there was a specific portion of that committee hearing that dealt with the Anglophone community. So what he said, like major statements that he said during those hearings, specifically with respect to how he will use the notwithstanding clause in the amendments coming soon, I guess, for Bill 101. So we find out that basically Legault, he intends on revisiting many clauses of that bill, which passed, by the way, in 1977, that were rejected back then by the tribunals, and he suggested that this time around he would just flat out use the notwithstanding clause to get those amendments through. I'll give you an example. I read up a little bit on what he said, and just to the reference of back in the day when it was created. Basically, this law was adopted in 1977. It provided for the exclusivity of the French language for all commercial signs and publicities in 1977. In 1988, the Supreme Court ruled that that was unconstitutional, and at that time, then Premier Robert Bourassa, he invoked the notwithstanding clause to keep the law as is, to keep the French language exclusive. It was only later in 1993 that that law changed to allow both languages, with French being obviously the more predominant, which is what we have now. So he's looking at different things like that in order to use that clause to pass the exclusivity of the French language altogether. So we're talking like this is serious stuff. Like the language debate is going to be sparked again, no matter what. Like no matter what happens.
I have a theory. I have a theory.
Tell us your theory, a wise one.
It may not be correct because it is just a theory, but this is what from my experience, I am a young man, George, remember this. I'm a young man, so my experience means nothing. However, in my experience, I believe that this is purposely being done because publicly we can see the many screw-ups of our government the past year or so. Even more if we count money that was with other governments, but let's just say now. This is all done to distract us from the real enemy, which is the government, so that we can start arguing with each other again and focus on nonsense. The U.S. did the same thing a few years ago when they brought fucking race to the forefront and said if your neighbor's a different color than you, they probably hate you. And we're doing it the same now with the language. That's what I think.
Look, it's a whole nationalist approach, right? Legault knows that his supporters in the regions of Quebec,
he's gaslighting.
I mean, they're 100% behind this. He really doesn't care about where this bill mostly affects people with this, the greater area of Montreal.
Your language.
So he doesn't care.
It's not true.
I mean,
no, I know.
The question right now that remains that everyone is asking is whether or not Legault would allow for a proper debate to happen before the vote, before voting on the law. I remind you that for both Bill 21 and Bill 49, which was one was for the religious symbols and the other one was for immigration. Both those bills passed what they call sous bâillon. Bâillon basically means that there's no debate. They call the House and they force the vote right away.
It's crazy.
And they go like this is what Justin Trudeau did a couple of days ago to force a law to send the people at the old port back to work.
The port, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All they were demanding was to name it the new port.
So
seems reasonable.
I don't know. He says that he will allow for a proper debate to happen. We'll see, because from what we're hearing is that this new bill or this amendment is happening in June. June the session ends. So when you're saying when you're being told that we're going to be tabling this bill in June, and you know that around mid-June usually the parliament should close. I mean, it usually indicates that it's probably going to go to the last day of the parliamentary session, and they're going to stay there for like 48 hours straight in order to pass the bill. I think a bill like this needs proper debate. I mean, you can't just force something down down people's throat like this.
Also, while we're on the subject of talking about politicians, fuck Joe Biden. Everybody's stocks are down. He's destroying the goddamn country.
No. The stock market's doing okay. That was crypto.
No, I'm looking at the stocks. I'm looking at my stocks.
A little bit.
Well, everything, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
God damn it.
Last piece of news before I jet, guys. With respect
bro. You still think it's
respect-
Athens 2002? I'm gonna kind of zetre.
I'm sorry about that, George.
Sorry, I don't know what happened.
So yeah, because we spoke about Air Transat and this whole thing that went sour with Air Canada. Yesterday, Air Transat announced that there was an agreement that was made with the federal government, following which they were loaned $700 million. Primarily, this money will be used to reimburse their clients whose travel was canceled because of the pandemic, and also to kind of look forward to the future to see how they're gonna, keep things afloat.
Air Canada still owes me money. Air Canada still owes me money.
Same.
From last year.
Not
Air
me.
Canada still owes me
it's
money.
bad. Had you booked it with Air Transit, you would have been able to claim a reimbursement. So that basically
Does
is
the government own Air Canada?
No.
What'd you say?
Who owns Air Canada? Is it private?
Yeah, it's private owned.
Air Canada is private. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I will go after them.
You won't?
And as for the future of Air Transat, I mean, there's still Pierre Calpelado, whose offer is still on the table.
Oh, PKP, Pierre Carl Peloton.
Yeah, he's still interested in buying the company. The shareholders, however, they would like to see the company go to a more credible partner in the industry. So they're kind of they're kind of turning their backs to him. But from what I'm reading, the offer is still on the table. I mean, they will be considering it. I'm just not so sure how serious they are about.
That guy's a bit of a douche, huh?
Well, he's not a douche. I mean, that guy's a huge businessman. He has the money. He's invested in all these things, and
why don't they like him?
He's a huge player in Quebec. I mean,
He's a huge player, but just because you have money doesn't mean you're good. Is he a good guy or not? I keep hearing that he's a bad guy.
I don't know. I don't know him personally, so I can't.
If anybody knows, tell in the chat so Poseidon can tell me. Right in the chat.
I saw him one time, but we didn't speak, so I don't know.
No, and if anybody actually knows stories or if they know what kind of a person
Didn't he
he
almost
is.
die a few years ago on his bike or
Everybody almost dies.
Yeah, got a huge bike accident. Yeah.
Now he speaks Portuguese instead of French.
I almost died twice when I was a kid. Actually, I almost died a lot of times in my life. I'm thinking about it. But when I was born with the umbilical cord around my neck. I was blue. Yeah, they got it just in time. One time I swallowed a bottle of pills. I thought it was candy.
Really?
Yeah, and then they found me unconscious, and they had to pump my stomach. I was a young little whippersnapper.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, this was back before. I mean, this was before even probably kindergarten. Yeah, this was.
So you were really little.
I was really little. Yeah,
that's fucked.
and then
That's so scary. I always worry about shit like that. My oldest daughter would never, I know she would never touch pills. The little one, I mean, I saw her eat I don't even know what it was.
I was depressed
a bug the other day.
No, I thought they were candy apparently, and I was because my sister had eaten candy, I think, and I was jealous. I thought, oh, we're just getting candy. So then I fucking little shit, bro. I opened the fucking pill bottle. I smashed it, I think. So, anyways, they took me to the hospital. They put my stomach. Then when I fell in the river in high school,
this river here. Yeah, this story you've told on the show.
Yeah, on Gouin, where I almost died there, but luckily I hung on to the ice. The time the guy pulled a gun on me and Mike and those guys, pointed at my face and shit, the World War II pistol. If it worked, he could have shot us, killed us. There's been
blown off his hand.
Yeah, there's been a number of fucking near misses. Yeah.
What do you mean someone pulled a gun on you, man? Was it like a joking thing or?
No, it wasn't a joking thing. Well, he looked like a joke though. He was a white Quebecer with dreadlocks down to his fucking the back of his knee. It's disgusting.
So he pulled the gun. And you did what? You just pinched his dick.
No, Mike pulled his dick out. It was February, and he said,
"Oh right, that's right. I remember this story."
He's like, "You're not gonna shoot anyone. You're gonna suck my dick." He goes, I'm
Get
not
out,
scared.
man.
I swear to God, Mike, the balls on Mike, bro. Mike's a little guy, but
little Mike.
Yeah, but his balls are way beyond his stature. And
Like
I
small
was like, what the fuck? So then I was like, look, man, you don't want to fuck. Are you crazy? Put your fucking, what are you, stupid? Get the fuck, don't put your gun. But I was saying it more like, think about yourself. Like, don't be stupid. Mike was telling him, are you crazy? Shoot me. Mike's like, shoot me. Shoot me. He goes, you fucking, and he said all kinds of shit. And he pulled his dick out. He says, you're going to do nothing. He goes, you're going to suck this. It was February.
This is just random. The guy just walked up to you.
He had two friends, these two white rapper-looking guys. I remember we went to a tech school, or they had sent us there that day to look if you want to go do a tech instead of going to college.
With the welding.
It was in Rosemount. They were
Rosemount
teaching you how to be a
Technical
secretary,
Center.
shit like that. So and there's these two guys, one dressed all in blue with a bandana, both two white Quebecers, one all in red, fake studio gangsters we call them.
Studio gang.
And they kept for some reason turning around and giving me and Mike dirty looks and all that, but I never noticed because I was looking at chicks or whatever the fuck I was doing. So then Mike started telling them what the fuck are you looking at? Like, turn around, stupid, turn the fuck around, leave me alone. So anyways, this continued up until we're leaving. They gave us attitude. Mike told them to go fuck themselves, and then they went on a payphone. This was back in the payphone era. And they called, I guess, one of their friends. We waited for a few minutes. They didn't want to come out. We're like, all right, fuck them. So we start walking. We're leaving. And then a guy is walking towards us. He sees us, and he's looking at us. I guess they gave our description. So he's like looking at us like, is this the guy? I can't tell. And then he comes. He bumps me a bit, and he keeps looking. You know when you look at someone, you passed him? So I turn around to him like, fuck are you looking at, man? Like, what's going on here, bro? And then he comes back, walks towards us, and he pulls out a gun. And then we realized, because we saw him with the other guys after when he left, that that's the guy that they called. So he pulled out a gun that was stolen from his grandfather or something. Like, it wasn't like a modern day gun.
Yeah, his grandfather.
Like a Civil War era shit. I don't know what the fuck it was. So, and that's what happened. Mike's like, I was like, oh fuck. I go, dude, put that shit away. What are you doing, bro? What are you
that's
pulling
scary.
a gun out?
Someone pulls a fucking musket
Yeah, and
on
Mike
you.
wasn't scared at all. Mike pulled his dick out. And it was February too. Yeah, I remember.
Jesus
But
Christ.
imagine the situation where he would have gotten shot. The cops find him on the sidewalk with his dick out.
I would have put his dick in his pants, bro.
How do you explain that one?
I would have put his dick in his pants. I wouldn't have left him out there schlong out in the cold. It was February.
Jesus Christ.
What happened? This is like a
can you
gay
ima-
sex orgy gone wrong.
Hey, like the what's it called? The investigator comes. Okay, what happened here? We have a
Why is
scene
his
over here
dick out?
with his penis out.
Why did your friend pull his dick out? We had no other weapons, sir. All we had was that giant hog. I don't know. It was, but yeah, it was fucked up. And then we're leaving because the guy started trembling after a while because he started to get scared because like why did this guy pull his dick out? Why are they yelling at me? Like I have the gun, I should have the power. But that fucked with his head.
You guys mind fucked him.
Yeah, it was the first time in my life I saw such a mind fuck.
Yeah.
The guy had complete power. He had a Civil War era pistol.
When I used to work at Belpro, someone tried to rob the place once and they pulled out a gun and I was alone in the front. The owner was in the back like doing drugs.
Yeah.
I froze up. I shit my pants. I didn't know what to do. I was like, yeah, you can have all the money. You want to steal me? Like whatever you want, bro.
I'll
Just
make you a
don't-
poutine, bro.
Don't fucking shoot me. The owner comes out high as fuck and he's like, hey, bro, you don't rob me. And he just like very casual because he was so high, walks up and he just takes the gun from him. Like it wasn't like a karate move. He just,
The guy just gave him the gun.
no, he just walks up and goes, no, leave. I was like, what the fuck? He goes, no, I have gun. I was like, okay. Like that was the whole situation. I was like, that was so fucking weird. The next day I was like, you fucking took a gun off a guy. He's like, I did what now? I go, you don't remember that? He's like, nah. I go, you put it in this drawer. I show him the thing. He's like, holy fuck, we have a gun. He was really high.
We have a gun.
It was really high. Okay, George, before you go, I'm going to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's that's fucking funny, man. The kid whips out his dick.
Yeah, Mike.
Have you seen those clips online? It's one of those what do you call those pranks where some kid walks up to people and is like, "Oh, you want to go? You want to go? Let's go." And
He pulls his pants down.
It's real, yeah, and he pulls his pants down. He's wearing like a thong.
Yeah, those are funny too, but it's not as crazy. Like it's fucked up when I think, bro, pulling your dick out. It would never be my instinct. But then again, Mike had a huge dick. I remember.
That is you need a big dick to pull that off. Like,
Yeah, because it was cold too. It was February.
yeah, on top of it.
Yeah. But it was crazy. Anyways, G, thank you for joining us today. Poseidon, cue the music. Let's play him out.
Oh, it's a
George,
pleasure.
a new episode of Just Us Dads is coming out today at noon. Is that correct?
Hi,
That's
Poppy.
correct.
And tell the people what they're going to be seeing in this episode of Just Us Diggity Daddies.
We're talking a little bit about movies, like we spoke before early on this show. We speak about kids and self-esteem. We talk a little bit about this.
But what does that mean, kids? Like, if your kid's very yappy, how to destroy their self-esteem so they're quiet?
Yeah,
is
no,
what my
actually the
parents
opposite. Yeah.
Poseidon's
what-
parents destroyed his self-esteem.
What we do to make sure that our kids build good self-esteem and that they don't live a life crushed by negativity and all that stuff.
Okay.
And then we speak a little bit about the whole issue now with the vaccination opening to the public. Some thoughts on that. We tackle the curfew, and also for those who don't follow me on social media, there is a contest about the best podcasts for dads, either produced by dads or that are catering to dads. So go on and vote for us, man. It's podcastmagazine.com/dads.
Me and Poseidon already voted for you.
Yeah, go there and vote, and you can. From what I read, you can pretty much vote anytime you want, all day, every day, until whatever the deadline is, which I'm not even sure where it is. So
Even though I've been told that the number one podcast for dads is Penthouse Party Hour, but
yeah, let's go vote for them too. No, but yeah, and in all seriousness, yeah, if you guys want to go over there and vote, go ahead and do it. And,
yeah, help George
that's
out.
it,
Give
man.
Just
And,
Us
as
Dads
of-
some votes. Who else are we going to give it to? There's no other dad casts out there.
I don't know.
Chris
if any-
Benoit
I
was
don't
going to
know of
start
any
one,
other
but then
dad podcast. I mean, I do follow some, but I mean, not really. So there are a few things out there, but hey, we're the best one.
I
man.
hope
Just
Call
vote.
Her Daddy wins. That would be fucking hilarious. Anyways, George Tadrizo's links are in the description. He's got Just Us Dads. He's got the Backstage podcast. He's got a new interview up on the Backstage podcast. Very interesting. Go check that out. If you are bilingual, George is your man. His interviews can either come in English, French, or whatever form of language he feels like speaking. The man speaks 4 languages, none of them correctly. George Tadrizos. Links in the description. Thank you, G.
Ciao, guys.
Patreon.com/Pantelis. Patreon.com/Pantelis. Don't forget that.
Ciao. Phil.
Yeah, join the Patreon, guys. We got new stuff coming this month. Oh, you got shirts to send after you, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll give you my card. Oh, George in the chat, they're saying that they listen to his podcast. They're gonna vote for him in the Dadcast to be the #1 daddy casty.
Who's your daddy, guys? Don't forget. George Jiggity Chiggity Chan's results.
Who's your diggity
Dad.
dad? So, Poseidon.
Yes.
In terms of Friday news, do you
I
have
like that.
plans?
Friday news.
Yes.
You have plans?
Yes.
What are you doing?
I have.
A date?
Yes.
Does it start today? I thought it starts tomorrow.
No, today.
Oh,
date?
shit.
What's going on?
Yeah.
And I like her a lot, so I've prepared something special for her.
Oh, shit.
Fucking finally
Condoms.
washed his dick. What are we talking
Go
about?
fuck yourself.
Oh, no, because his date weekend starts today. I thought it started tomorrow.
Yeah,
he
but
ate
like
Weekend.
late.
Can I have some context here?
Him and
No.
his lady friend are spending the weekend together.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. What time?
Or like 6:30.
Ah, okay. So I still have a couple of hours to abuse you.
And I have time to also clean up my apartment because it's a bit of a mess. So
Surprising.
doesn't
That
surprise me at all.
doesn't seem like you at all.
well, look, I say mess, but like it's honestly it's
a big
really
style.
not that bad.
Oh, okay.
No, it's just to me it's a mess. Like if I see dust, it bothers me.
I mean, I've seen you dust, so I don't know what to make of that statement.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of that statement. I've also seen you eat.
That fucking video of him eating, I watched it 40 fucking times. What does he say? at the end? I showed Anna. She's like, "What the fuck are you laughing about?" I'm like, "It's fucking prank."
By the way, I couldn't stop that part of the episode.
It's so good.
Bro, I couldn't stop.
Who made that?
Bro, I was in my car alone.
That was Gabe's.
Oh, those Gapes?
No. But I mean, on the 2DM episode, I was in my car. I probably looked like a lunatic to everyone else, and like I was just watching it.
It's the first time in a long time where I got messages. It was funny because one guy, I think, in the comments were like, "Why are they bullying Poseidon?" And then people are like, "Are you fucked? This
Have
is
you never
nothing.
seen the
Have you
show?"
never watched the show? Go watch another show, dummy." But then what's funny is I got messages on Instagram and stuff like, "Yo, this was I haven't laughed this much in a long time." But
laughed
everyone that was
so
messaging me
hard.
had different parts of the episode that they were quoting. So the counterpoint thing, I got that. But then I got for the burning games, games thing. People were laughing like, "What a gypsy! Why is he lying about burning?" I laughed so much. Then they had the you eating. I got messages because of the you eating, me making fun of you eating.
My favorite part
people
is
had a
the-
lot of different parts they liked. Yeah.
My favorite part is the part where you make fun of me eating, and also my laugh. Like I'm all red and shit.
All the sound effect was you, right? All the sound effects were you, right? The ASMR sounds.
The asthma.
Yeah,
I call it asthma.
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 As Mister.
As Meister.
No, just asthma.
Okay.
Asthma.
Take your pump if you have asthma.
Or like Lamau.
I mean, you just leave it. Leave it.
I don't like Lamau. I don't like people say Lamau.
What's Lamau?
Laugh my ass off.
Have you guys seen the sketch of the guy that he goes, "Who's Lamau?" We found a spy, Chinese spy. His name is Lamau.
No.
And then Lamfao.
It's another one of those.
Lamfao,
It's another one of those situations where
You have to be there.
you're describing a video.
Yeah.
You
Let me
can't-
tell you in
No, no, I
detail
was
about
just-
this TikTok I watched.
Oh no, it wasn't a TikTok. It was a sketch. I was just wondering if you guys had seen it.
I saw your
But
sketch
you
with
guys
Bruno.
haven't. Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you think?
I think you did a good job. I think you were. I believed that you were a low life degenerate trying to sell things. I believed it.
But did you like the sketch?
I saw the sketch. I like Bruno.
Oh, I think people are idiots.
Why?
What's wrong?
Because Michelle Obama goes, Poseidon, why did you post a video of you eating a pizza with a fork after what Pantelis said on 2DM?
It was posted before, no?
A long time before.
That's
Yeah.
that's.
Bro, it's the internet. I've learned now, bro. I can't. I've learned. Leave it. You can't win, bro. It's unbelievable. It was funny.
I don't understand the question, but okay.
I've noticed it too with the flat earthers too.
I
Yeah?
can't. I keep going back to that
bro,
episode.
it's so dumb. Some of the
keep
stuff
going
they
back.
say, it's painfully dumb.
The video.
They're
I
like
sent
this
you?
guy about me. He's so close-minded because he's brainwashed by NASA, and he's like, he already offered a Bitcoin if you could prove it. The problem is, you can't get a Bitcoin off him if you prove the Earth is round because it doesn't accept any evidence that it is round. Anything
Okay.
you tell him, he says that's made up. Gravity, made up. The moon, made up.
For sure
the
made up.
sun, everything's made.
Super fake.
So you can't like. Unless you get a spaceship and send this guy in the fucking sky so you can see it, he's not going to give you a Bitcoin. So it's all that's
How
what
do you
people,
even know he
that's
has
what,
a
He probably
Bitcoin?
doesn't even have Bitcoin. But that's the whole point. That's what people don't understand.
Who
Like
is this guy? I want to contact him.
you saw it. It's my podcast. He was on my podcast. David Weiss.
Oh, Vice said that.
yeah.
Tell him to send me the Bitcoin so I can prove that it's
Verify,
real.
yeah.
Verify it, and then I'll prove it to him.
No, it's just stuff like that is what like a lot of people don't understand. you can't win with these people because they're not interested in an argument.
No.
They're not interested in facts.
They are correct all the time, and that's all that they care about.
Not even, it's not, I don't think they care about being correct. I think they care about everything is a conspiracy. That's the problem when you, everything is a conspiracy. So because there are real conspiracies out there, because there are real conspiracies, everything now must be a conspiracy.
That's ridiculous.
Crazy.
I don't know. I have to say, I've never seen someone show up to a podcast with their own green screen and slides, and that actual presentation made them look less correct. Like, normally you show up with all this information, it makes you like this guy, okay, I wasn't sure, but it's got slides and facts. This thing, I was watching, I was like, half the stuff he just showed, like, disproves what he's saying. That video I sent you about the guys with the flashlights?
That was I shared it. Yeah.
Oh, did you? Yeah, I mean, it's like, well, if we can hold this up at 17 feet over this distance, it proves the Earth is flat. The guy goes, holds it up at 17 feet. He's like, we don't see the light. Put it up to 23.
And then they see it.
And he goes,
Well, I'll be damned.
interesting.
And then the curb music.
Bro, that was so amazing. I watched that like 18 times.
Wish I had fucking long hair and I could have a man bun. Wish I had hair.
You could.
You could.
They do these new things at the barbers.
I'm not doing that.
Extensions.
I'm not doing that.
No,
Get extensions.
hold
For
on,
the
hold
back
on.
of my head only.
No, they could put it on the top too. You'll look cool. Or just do extension on the side. You're gonna look like Hulk Hogan. Yeah.
No, but
no, I mean,
I am
they
a real
have-
Caucasian.
I like that.
Fight for the rights of 3
Filipinos.
Haitian men.
Oh, that rhymes better. Yeah.
but they have it's like a cap. It's like a cap. And
I know
they
exactly what
They
you're
put the
talking about.
special glue and shit.
I
and
made the
glue it.
mistake of one time Googling hair transplant, and now I just get.
Sounds disgusting.
I constantly get ads for like how to get hair again.
Have you tried Rogaine?
No, no. Rogaine is to preserve what you have. I'm
Joe
way past
Rogan.
that. Joe Rogan, yeah. No, I'm way past that. I mean, if I want to keep this hair, yeah, I'll use Rogaine, but it's not gonna help me.
You never even thought of doing the Hogan because you have it.
No, my thing is when I turn 40, I'm gonna start growing whatever. I'm gonna stop shaving my head so that I can have long hair on the sides and have a ponytail. Because I think it'll piss off my wife.
Do the handlebar. Why don't you do the Hogan? It'll be amazing.
Oh, I've done the handlebar stash. I'm very scary.
I know.
Like,
I'm
in
saying,
not
and
a
if you
good
grow it
way.
out and put a bandana on top.
Even when my beard gets long.
Dude,
it looks
just do it.
super
It'll be
funny.
amazing.
Like when I do this.
I'm not even fucking around. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know Hollywood Hogan? He would be
Yeah.
Hollywood Hogan. Black.
With my beard like that, like a crazy person.
Not up. No, down. I prefer it down
Yeah,
so it looks
obviously.
slick.
My wife gets mad. She goes, "Why do you look like a fucking child molester? Can you shave your beard?"
It's not a child
Just
molester beard. It's a fisherman
It
beard.
just needs to be combed.
Yeah. No, put it down. Yeah, exactly. But do the handlebar. It would be amazing. And then you have the bandana on top, the hair coming on the side.
Yeah, you would look like a low budget Hollywood Hogan.
Yeah. Well, look, my wife's not in the chat today because both girls are home.
A
I'm sure
high
she would-
budget Filipino Hogan.
I see.
Interesting.
Those little black glasses.
I would be fabulous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he walks. Every time you walk into a place, you're just yelling. Who's out here hanging and banging, brothers?
Hey, brother.
I mean, it's not whatever. I don't like wrestling enough to really appreciate how funny this is to you.
I love it.
I was never even in the heyday of wrestling. I was like,
Oh,
whatever.
you don't get the references you're saying.
No, I get the references. I'm aware of Hulk Hogan and the things he said and whatever.
But you wouldn't look good in the yellow and red. You'd look ridiculous. But the Hollywood, the black, the blue,
And
you'd
the glasses.
look.
I
Yeah,
remember, I
you'd look
remember.
fucking badass.
I remember. I just
Said,
whatever.
what colors did Hollywood Hogan wear? The yellow and red?
No,
No.
that was regular Hogan.
That was Hollywood. I literally just said it and then you asked it again. Black and white.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You still with us?
Yeah, what colors would you wear?
I just said it. The black and.
Can we change?
Are you
subject?
high?
Can we
Yeah, we'll change subject. I'm
let's change
sorry.
subject.
Are you high?
Gorlak.
No, I'm fine.
Come on.
Come on, Gorlak. What are you doing?
Erg. He's more of an erg.
No, he's a Gorlak.
Is it Gorlak?
Yeah.
Gorlak sided.
Gorlak sounds like a sound that he makes when he eats. Gorlak. Gorlak.
Or when I snore.
See, he doesn't get the jokes, eh?
He just tries to tag.
No, I get it, but I have this talent for just killing them.
Yeah.
It really is
So
it's a gift from the gods.
If jokes were children, he's Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
It's
Or-
amazing
or,
how many times you can make that reference and it's still funny.
I know.
It shouldn't have ever been funny, but
should
it's
have
still
never been
funny.
Or what's his name there?
Who?
Anakin Skywalker.
I mean, a deep cut into the nerddom,
I
but
guess,
okay,
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Good try. I mean,
Again, I killed it. You see?
Yeah.
you
You
didn't
see?
kill it. You tried. You tried something.
This time
what's
I
the word
killed
I'm
it.
looking for? You killed it softly with your kiss.
Yes.
No, you tried. You experimented. That's all right. You tried to go for a deep cut and it didn't work. That's fine. He made a joke that I thought was an experiment. Apparently, I didn't get it. I think that says more about the joke than me. But okay.
It's a highbrow. It was highbrow humor.
My brows are all the way up here, bro. All the way up here.
It's funny he says that, but he's touching over his brows.
Yeah, I was trying to lift them. Did you notice? I was like,
And it didn't work. He's like, my brows are up here.
fuck you, bro.
Yo,
What else you want to talk about today? Anything you had that George didn't get to?
no, my big thing was Bill C-10. I was very upset about
It's pretty ridiculous.
them trying to sneak. And you know how you know that they know that what they're doing is sinister and it's wrong? The fact that the government, the fact that they secretly went in
and amended it.
and amended it so that people could argue online and be like, of course we're for it. It's going to level the playing field and we're protected. It's not
Yeah,
going
they
to
come out
affect
to
us.
like, okay, we brought the bill back, so you guys
Yeah.
can read it quick. What about the thing that protected all of our rights? That's not the bill you're thinking of.
yeah. So that's,
See, that's
what,
a good deep cut.
if you didn't think what you were doing was wrong, you wouldn't amend that.
No.
I don't know what amending is.
Change.
So
to edit.
basically,
Okay.
initially when the bill was proposed, there was protections in there for regular people, for YouTubers, for podcast, all that. Basically, your posts,
We're talking about C10, right?
your
Okay.
posts are not gonna fall victim to the CRTC of the internet, the government, right? So they can't take down your post because they deem it un-Canadian or whatever reason they want. It's the government, so whatever reason they want. Mostly they would use the un-Canadian thing. So
What is un-Canadian?
But
Like,
that's
is
the
there
thing.
a definition?
So here's the best part.
Has to align with government vision.
Here's the thing. Trudeau now. Remember when Trudeau had said there is no Canadian culture? Do you remember that he got in shit for
I
saying there's
remember
no
something
there's
similar.
no Canadian
Oh,
culture?
he said this?
Yeah, there was a whole
Not
thing.
It was
There
like
was a whole thing about people were pissed at him.
Jesus Christ.
So, anyways, it's like what is like it doesn't exist, you know. But then now what they're trying to say is it's in order to protect the Canadian culture. So how are you going to define it? This is something that you said doesn't even exist. So you're going to define it based on what the government, the CRTC, which now the CRTC could fine you for anything. The CRTC blocks from. That's why I don't like CBC and Radio Canada, right? They won't say the truth. They're going to say the truth that they're permitted to say based on what the government tells them they could say. The good thing about the internet is we could criticize them. You could go on the internet today and be like, what the fuck? If Trudeau did something wrong, you could criticize him. You could be like, Trudeau did something wrong. If this goes through, you cannot do that.
Really?
You cannot. Even your posts, even your and forget
No, I don't know if the post C10 doesn't apply to
it does. It applies to individuals. That was the amendment. That's the whole thing that
it
I've been
applies to
fighting.
individuals, but I thought it was specifically for audio video content like pictures,
No, your
videos
posts.
and audio.
They even said posts.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it even says posts.
I haven't
yeah.
read the
Last
whole
in bed,
thing.
I said,
Yeah.
fuck Legault, fuck Aruda, fuck the police. And
Yeah, that jail time. So, or they just
You go
ban
to
your
jail.
channel. They tell YouTube to take you down or whatever. It's too much
Jesus,
power for
start
the
a pirate
government.
stream.
It's too much power for the government because we're supposed to be able to call them out.
I mean,
We're supposed to be able to criticize them. We're not Saudi Arabia.
we're not China.
Yeah, we're supposed to do that. We can't regress into, like, I understand he likes making a lot of deals with China and Saudi Arabia, but that doesn't mean that we have to culturally turn this into that. It's just crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's completely nuts, bro. And then China came out with that snitching app.
Yeah, they have a snitch app in China.
Yeah.
Trudeau loves that shit.
The snitch app.
We
Oh,
live
yeah,
in a
the
snitch
neighbors.
society.
Yeah, so you could snitch out. If the app is basically if your neighbors or people that you know are saying stuff critical of the government,
You
you,
just let
could
them
rat them out and they could come and arrest them.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I love how they digitized the hood.
They
You know, when they
digitized-
put the black hood on and point, it was him.
Yeah.
they digitized
They
the hood.
digitized it. So if your neighbor doesn't like you, he could be like, yeah, this guy was talking shit about mayor, you know, and it's like, oh, he's talking shit about the mayor.
Yeah,
Okay.
we fix you.
We fix it.
How did you say mayor?
Mayor,
I love that all his accents that aren't Asian sound Asian, but when he needs to do an Asian one, he just does something that I can't quite put my finger on.
I get the jokes.
I get that
It's
jokes.
funny to me.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all that really matters. You're out there doing comedy for you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the masses.
For you.
So yeah, so I don't like that shit. But people have to be made aware of what C10 is. People have to be made aware because some of them were under the assumption of what it initially was. Because even the conservatives were for it in the beginning. 'Cause
That's
the
what the
conservatives,
sketchiest part, right?
yeah, because the conservatives in the beginning were for they don't level the playing ground because the conservatives economically what they wanted now and for the past couple of years in Canada, I'm saying they small and medium businesses to grow. Right, you want local, grow local, which is good. That's what we all want. That's good for the country. It's good for your neighbors. It's good for you. So they were like, "Oh yeah, level the playing field. You know, have Pantelis and Poseidon, give them an advantage. Mike against YouTube and Apple, that give them an advantage to play them. So especially when we were protected, it made sense. But the fact that they amended this, they turned it into censorship. So now even the conservatives who you'd think in the
maybe
past
that's why they did it that
should
way.
be the censors, right? They should be the ones censoring people. It's the opposite. It's people that are calling themselves liberal that are censoring and dictating what you can't and cannot do. It's kind of like how Antifa says they're anti-fascist.
But
and then they
they're-
go around
Doing fascist
beating
things.
people up who disagree with them and starting fires. It's crazy. It's a fucked up time that we live in.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's not only a fucked up time that we live in, it's our version of this time from the last time, because this has happened before. With censorship and prohibition. It's always the neoliberal governments, the ones who want progress and for all of us to be the same, and let's all get in our little boxes so we can figure out who's the same.
Yeah, it's all words that they trick you with.
But it happens every 75 years.
It happens.
I mean,
It happens.
we're
All,
due.
yeah,
We're
we
due.
all fall for it. Well, like, yes, of course, I love progress. And then you're like, isn't this the opposite of progress? Are you a Nazi? What? No. I'm just saying this is the opposite. If we're being racist, that's not progressive. Racism is super progressive. You fucking Nazi. How am I the Nazi? You're separating
It's
people
not
by race.
racism
Yeah.
if you're taking your rage
Yeah.
out against the white man.
Yeah,
It's not racism.
Well, it depends. It'll change. It depends what country you're in. In China, they're taking the rage out against the Uyghurs. So yeah, it's just they don't like Taiwan. Hong Kong is being fucked. So it just depends where you are. They change the enemy, and then if you're dumb enough to fall for it as a person and make your neighbor your enemy based on their religion, their color, all that, you fall into that trap. You just set yourself back for years.
No,
Yeah.
but that's what 1984 is. The book.
Yeah.
It's all of that.
Yeah.
Everything that's
I
happening.
wish we had Price is Right music that I could press, because it's like 5 episodes in a row. Like,
It's the only book he's read
No, it's not the only
You've
book
read
I've
other
read.
books. I
I've
gave
read
some
other books,
books.
but I mean, it's the only like.
that applies to what's happening. I get
Exactly.
it. Yeah. No, you're right though. In the beginning, I
every
thought.
dystopian sci-fi ever written is basically where we're heading.
Yeah, like I always found lately, everybody's fucking 1984 is getting old. But then when I think about like what you just said, I get why. You know what I mean? Like if everything was decorating Christmas here and everybody's reference would be Home Alone or Santa Claus stuff, I would have to understand. Yeah, of course, because it's Christmas. Like I get it.
I mean, yeah,
so I
but
get the
but there is
1984
only
references.
one Christmas.
And it's very on the nose too. You know, like there was
Yeah, I know.
like there was that movie that it's similar also. The movie we watched where I was like
Demolition Man.
Demolition Man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's
Demolition
too
One-
goofy.
it's too goofy.
It's too goofy. You know what I mean?
But
this
that's what
is
makes
even
it
on the-
so genius.
But by the way,
Demolition Man.
just before you think that Orwell or all these people are like mystics and they see into the future,
No.
most
not.
of,
They're-
most of it, it's just the kind of how the European Union started. Most of it is there's government documentation, especially in the UK, of stuff that they were planning, of stuff they wanted to implement. And the European Union, it also falls into. The European Union is crazy. I'm gonna tell you a story about the European Union that has to do with Germany. So what they would do is a lot of these writers or people that were in the know in the government, they would just take stuff that they thought was a crazy story, like imagine if this would happen. And that's why then when stuff slowly happens, you're like, wow, did they see the future? No, it's because they based it off inside information of what we were trying to get to. And then the closer we get to it, it just seems like they were foretelling, but it was just information they had. See, the European Union, shit, you know how much shit I found out about the European Union? So European Union was being discussed, and Germany to be at the helm of it, but mostly after World War II. Now, I'll tell you what's weird about that. Germany caused World War II. Germany was the enemy of the people in Europe, World War II.
According to you.
The accent.
Well, according to me, yeah.
According to the Germans, they
according
did.
to them, they were the heroes cleansing the planet.
Yeah.
So this is something that they were pushing for, right? Imagine now they tried to take over the continent and the world by the military. It didn't work. So their next step was, let's take it over economically and through treaty, and we're still in charge. We take it over that way. And the imbeciles, including us, all said, the people that started 2 world wars, the guys that tried to take us over, they tried to kill us all. Yeah, of course they should be in charge of us. It's absurd what happens behind the scenes, how people are easily bought and sold. Absurd what happens behind the scenes. So then now, let's say back then, somebody, when they were first starting the talks of this, he would write a book about what the future would be like if the European Union exists and they have one currency and all that. People now are like, oh my God, how did they foretell that? Well, no, they just took what was being discussed at the time and like, fuck, okay, let me just take this to the full level, to the full extreme. That's what happened. There's no like, I'm just saying this because a lot of people think, oh, these guys are clairvoyant or it's not. There's just people who do their research properly.
Yeah.
And I think, was it Orwell that he worked with MI6? Was it Orwell that had, I think Orwell, yeah.
Let me Google it real quick.
Yeah, one of them, I remember one of the British guys was working with British intelligence, and he took a lot of the stuff that he thought was never going to happen, but it seemed fantastical, and he had wrote it down, and then they started happening. It's like, oh, fuck. I can't believe they're going through this.
Oops.
Yeah.
I don't know. Dystopian sci-fi, I mean, it all stems back to like the same 5-6 pieces of literature. So obviously a lot of it calls the same shit. Orwell's definitely one of the 5.
Yeah. I
You
think
have like
type Orwell MI6.
Yeah, and I just want to say something quick, because
Yeah.
Michelle Obama said like I called him, her, whatever, dumb. I
Called Michelle Obama dumb.
Yeah, because it was him that would ask about the thing. But Michelle Obama's cool, so I just want to say I posted that also because Guido just opened his restaurant.
Yeah.
You know, he's doing orders and shit. I was there.
oh, he
So I'm
reopened
happy to see
finally.
that.
Yeah.
But
Finally.
that was more to like tag Guido and tag the restaurant,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
more people
I
go
thought
to
it was very classy.
That was the
I thought it was a classy ad.
I mean, they could have recast you and it would have been classier, but it was pretty classy.
Yeah, but we're friends. We
I
try
can't
to.
believe
Anyways,
he eats with a fork and knife pizza.
Yeah, I think he just did it for the show.
I do too. I'm just surprised that he would.
This guy will eat with his toes if he has to.
By the way, after I did eat it with my hands.
I know, I
So
know.
like
I know how you
with
eat.
a knife and fork. I feel fancy.
It looks cool.
It does.
Type in Orwell MI6. I'm just curious if it was him.
Shit, sorry.
MI5.
MI5, yeah, whatever it is. MI6 is the fake one, right? MI6 is the
MI6, I think, is
James Bond.
Yeah.
So the real one is MI5.
I think so. Yeah. The spy agency.
I don't know now. Now that you
I don't
said
know.
It, now that
I-
you said it like that, I have no idea.
Yeah, one of them is real and one of them is the fictitious version. It's like instead of the FBI, the
Oh, shit.
FIB, you know, like in
fib.
video games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But George Orwell himself had leftist views, no?
Who's talking about leftist? Dude, by the way,
That's
the whole
what they're saying.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with anything? Again, you're thinking of leftist in the context of now.
Ah, yes. Yes. Okay.
Don't think of
Yeah,
leftists
yeah.
as being evil or anything, because I have social views that could fall into that as well. But I'm not a left.
see.
So, anyways, I'm just asking about his spy stuff. Was it him? I think it was him that worked for British intelligence.
I think he did. Hold on.
Google Orwell, British intelligence.
But
That's
I
it.
can't really find anything. Like one of them, they're calling him secretly a reactionary snitch. This is the Independent.
Yeah, he's a George Orwell snitched on the guy. That's what this was. This was a snitching campaign. He just wanted to warn us all.
The man who
think?
conceived Big Brother gave a semi-secret government department a list of 38 crypto-communists and fellow travelers, a
Nice.
revelation that has given rise to a peculiar...
Okay, so he did work
reversionism.
with the secret. So it was him.
Yeah.
He worked with British intelligence. Yeah, because I remember I had done, dude, back in the day when I used to look into conspiracies and all that shit, and I didn't like people telling me what to think. I remember looking. I'm like, no, this is bullshit. And yeah, he had ties. He had.
Did he get assassinated?
I don't know how he died. I have no.
They say he took a bullet in the throat fighting fascism. I don't know if they mean that literally
or
or...
figuratively. I have no idea how he died.
Let's open the link.
Yeah, but
Oh yeah, apparently he was...
but hold on. But do you see why what I'm?
but that didn't kill him.
But I'm telling. Look at me.
Yes.
Because just stare at me right now.
Yes.
Do you see why I'm telling you be careful with the terms online, leftist, and for you to jump to conclusions? Because hold on, because you got shocked when you heard leftist, but then you heard that he ratted out communists. He was getting communists taken up, right?
Yeah.
When you think leftism, you thought communism, right?
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm telling you? He was not
This is
for
all very-
communism.
This is all very confusing.
But that's what they did now. That's what language did. They confused, they mixed it up. When I was growing up, conservatism was censorship. Conservatism was censorship, old people, the new wave, that's scary. And now it flipped. The conservatives are like, yeah, we can't have censorship. People need to be free. And the other side that's supposed to be liberal is saying, no, we got to censor this. I got to be in charge of what you... They flipped the script on us.
Ah, they pulled one of the old
They
turntables.
dictate, and that's fucked up because they dictate what you think. That's what I'm saying. Don't jump to conclusion. If you hear somebody saying, like, I'm a socialist, don't assume that it's communism. Because socialism, having social views, isn't the end of the world. It's not bad. Socialism could work. You could have forms of socialism. But at the same time, you need to have a free market, capitalism, for it, as we've seen, tested, for it to work properly. You could have social systems that protect the vulnerable, kids, women,
Yeah.
and not be communist.
Yeah.
So
That's
don't
true.
don't let these words scare you. Look into shit, bro, because it'll
Yeah. So
they make you a reactionary.
so they turned the tables on us.
They turn the table. Yeah, it's crazy what they've done.
God damn.
Yeah.
It's
What are you thinking?
Bananas out there.
Because he keeps saying
Sometimes-
turn the tables.
Well,
they didn't turn the tables
there's
on
that,
us.
There's that, but
I don't know why I agree with
the fact that people get so confused, like what you just said, that language, they trick us with language and they change what things mean.
Because sometimes they say weird things, like they'll say like you can't
No.
say that. Like you shouldn't be allowed. We should censor that. I'm a liberal. That's the least liberal thing you could say. That's not
Yeah,
liberal.
but which I agree with. I get it. But the idea that you ever decided, not you, I mean that we ever as a society decided what was right and wrong based on the label someone put on it.
That's
like,
what happened.
To me,
that's
the idea that
it happened
like,
gradually.
But it didn't though. I don't feel like it.
It happened super
Not
gradually.
For me, even as a teenager, I was asking these questions. I was like, why are they labeling these? It doesn't make sense. So like
Right, everybody
like,
asks
this
this question.
epiphany that he just had.
Yeah.
I mean, I had it 20 years ago.
Okay.
So it scares me.
But he hasn't been exposed
But
as
he's not
much.
I'm not talking about Poseidon. I
Yeah.
mean in general.
Yeah.
Like the fact that you told him go and look into this shit scares me more. Because he's gonna look into stuff that's out of context for him that he doesn't know. How old are you now? 27?
27.
He's 27 years old. He doesn't have the time or the luxury of time
Like I had.
to experience the things that he needs to be able to make, to be able to look at something objectively.
Yeah.
He's past that point.
I
now.
just try to keep it simple. Anything that infringes on.
But it isn't that simple.
It isn't. It's very
isn't.
complicated.
The fact that you would even jump to that scares me.
Yeah, it's
and
very-
not for you, because you have people around you who will like.
They oversimplify it to trigger you and to trigger everyone. That's why they oversimplify it. So for example, even this, the Bill C-10, or now we're talking about Quebec. For instead of like the language debate, they oversimplify it. Even though if you look into it, you're like, this is gonna end up hurting French, right? They don't look in. They say you want to
wanna
protect
create
French.
strife.
This is gonna protect French. Like that's what they do. They don't want to go into because they know that if people look into it. They're like, wait a second, how does my French kid not being allowed to ever learn English, the language of business around the world, how the fuck is that going to help French? Like, what are you talking about?
I mean,
Okay,
just think
so-
about it.
but-
It's opium for the masses. It's something for us to fight about. It's
Yeah.
not opium. Sorry, but think of ancient Rome. Okay, life in ancient Rome sucked. Like for the most part, it really sucked.
Well, it was in the.
Speak for yourself, bro.
That
I
was in
took
the
part
ancient world.
in many orgies.
Well,
Well, that was
The
rich.
Roman, what?
anyways, that's why they had gladiatorial games
Yeah, to distract
yeah, I
people.
to
know.
distract people.
It was sports.
But I
That's
mean-
why we have sports teams to
Like-
keep people busy.
Life in the ancient world was, for the most part, shitty. Whether it was Rome.
No, I know. I'm
or-
just using
Talk,
that as
speak
an
for yourself,
example.
bro. If you're on the beach, somewhere Greece, you hunt,
Look,
you eat, you
I
fuck.
read this whole
not gonna
thing
lie.
once about how the ancient Greeks didn't really go to the beach to swim. So I was like, wow, that's so crazy.
Where do they go for the
Like
beach
they would
going?
only go to swim if they had to like fish and stuff. Like, but the average person wouldn't be like, I'm gonna go to the beach today. It's warm.
Well, yeah, obviously.
They had to
didn't-
like
Well,
fucking
because-
struggle to stay alive and
Yeah.
shit.
Well, yeah, because it wasn't seen as a recreational thing. They had
Like,
it was-
even-
No, it was
had-
seen as a recreational thing, but that's the whole point. It was
There was
only
no
seen
time
as
for
recreation. Yeah, there's
recreation.
no time for recreation. They didn't have iPhones, cars. They had to do shit.
Man,
They couldn't
honestly,
drive to the beach.
about a week
They'd have to
ago-
walk for 5 hours. You know what I mean?
Oh
Like,
yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you would never live near the beach because
because
that's
it's
where
salt
pirates
water.
would get you.
And it's salt water. It's not like they're gonna drink it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
You
oh
live-
my god, that makes so much sense.
Yeah,
Of course it does.
of course. The
I
more-
never thought about it.
yeah.
from
Well, dude,
those
think about the
lenses.
city you live in. Any city for anyone watching. Most of the big tourist stuff that people come there and they want to do, you never do. Sometimes you've experienced them once when you were young,
Yeah.
or sometimes you never at all.
I've
You're
never been
interested.
inside the oratory ever.
The St. Joseph's.
Yeah, I've never
I
been.
went once.
I
I
went
went once, and
also.
only
I
because
walked up, but I never went in.
because I brought a tourist there. That's
I went once with
Like,
Legacy, and we only went to go buy rosaries because it was cool at the time. It was a fashionable.
Oh, okay.
You didn't remember that phase?
A buddy of
I
mine-
never had that phase.
Never. Rosaries were never cool.
yeah. I never
Yeah,
had
in
that
our
phase.
high school, at some point, rosaries were cool.
What do you-
The chains of the oppressor do not belong on my side.
Whoa!
were different
It's
colors.
the Bloods, the Crips, and the Exorcists.
No, but it's true. A lot of people used to wear them because you could get different colors and shit, and people had multiple ones. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? What I was getting at?
What do you
You
mean?
see, the years he could have spent understanding existence and questioning his life,
You're
He was
fighting
buying-
Algerians. I'm fighting for your sins.
fighting for your soul, your eternal soul.
So
it's
stupid.
just cool.
Yeah.
It's
I know-
not cool at all. It was never cool.
I had
It's
a
not
friend
cool.
who took me to the Acropolis in Greece, and he's like, I've never been up here. I was like, what the fuck? You've lived here your whole life? He's like, meh.
Yeah, because it's
never
there.
went,
Yeah,
never
that's,
went.
that's the reality.
I realized about a week ago, like this deep
About a
into
week
the
ago,
pandemic, this deep into pandemic, I really miss Greece. And the
Yeah.
fact that I still can't go is like weighing on me.
You should move to Greece.
I would love to
Yeah,
move to
film
Greece.
and make it.
But what am I going to make in Greece? They got no money to pay me.
They got money, bro. I watch their TV a lot. These sons of bitches somehow are getting money. I don't
Yeah.
know how the fuck they're doing. Maybe
If
tourism.
I could figure out a way to be profitable and comfortable, or if I can turn any passive income here into such a big passive income that I could, I would fuck off instantly.
By the way, what we talked about a bit on Wednesday is what they're interested in now. So Legault is completely out of touch. He started telling people like, "What's the problem?
the
You guys could live in Montreal for $500 a month, $500-600. Dude, even Poseidon
Drunk
pays
as
more than that.
fuck.
Poseidon is alone. Poseidon is
one bedroom?
one
And I
man
have found ways.
You have a one
in
bedroom
Park
or a
X.
two?
Huh?
You have one room or two?
It's 3.5.
It's a 3.5. Oh, one bedroom.
One bedroom, yeah.
No.
In
But
Park
it's-
X.
But it's big.
It's a big
I
spacious
got lucky. I got very lucky.
But in Park X, we're talking about one bedroom, one guy who doesn't have high standards.
What's your rent?
And he pays more than that.
Do you want to say or no?
$780. I don't mind.
$780.
Yeah.
Wow.
So almost $800.
I mean, my parents have a basement apartment. It's fully renovated, but it's a semi-basement. I mean, you've seen it. You remember what my parents' house
Years
looked like.
ago.
And in Côte d'Ivoire, it's like $9.50 the rent.
Yeah,
crazy.
bro, I'm not budging from this place.
No. Well,
for now.
it's not even. I'm not telling you to budge. What I'm saying is he's so out of touch. It's one of those. Remember back in the day, there was another politician who's like, "What's the big deal? Why do you guys want wages for like $50 a week? You can feed a family."
Oh
75.
yeah,
It was Philippe Couillard.
75. Yeah.
This fucking youth
It's
though.
This is why I understand when people say if you're gonna become a politician or if you're gonna run, we can't allow people who have lifelong been rich, who are out of touch, who don't really know the
I had this
reality.
exact conversation
Now I
last
get
night.
it.
And do you know?
Oh, I've always gotten it, but here, this is the problem, right? This is what happens when you have a system that treats a political career as a career. Serving
It's
in
supposed to be
politics
service, yeah.
is a public service. It's a responsibility of all citizens, and we should all cycle through.
Yep.
Also, you want to laugh? You know what example he used?
Didn't hear anything I said. Yeah, go ahead.
I did. But he used the example of you could buy 99-cent mac and cheese. That was his example.
I mean, you could at the dollar store, but it's expired.
But
To
there's
live
no
off 99 cents mac and cheese.
mac
yeah.
and cheese, bro.
Speaking of mac and cheese, my wife made like a homemade mac and cheese last night. It was the most delicious thing. I just wanted to tell people that it was good. That's it.
I believe you,
I'm
but
thinking
bro,
about him having it for lunch.
Can you start watching your figure a bit? Bikini season is right around the corner.
I am a bit of a pig.
COVID
myself.
is rampant.
Well, actually, I've been practicing my Spanish. El gordito.
El gordito.
See? Vale.
You're very slim.
I am very slim. Slim,
It's
trim,
just-
and ready to...
This imagine being in charge. Imagine getting voted in to power and not giving a fuck about the lives that you're
The
supposed to be
sad truth
serving.
is they think they give a fuck,
No,
but they don't.
Nah, he knows he doesn't.
They all think they're altruists, these fuckers. They're like, I could have been making my
But that's
six-figure
that's
salary
even worse.
only.
That's the worst. That's
That's
psychopath.
the worst.
That's-
That's psychopath shit.
That is the current problem. All of our problems stem from the fact. Look at ancient Greece.
that
They
is
created
actually the worst
democracy, right?
evil.
Everyone always talks about the ancient Greek democracy and blah 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 blah. It wasn't. You weren't becoming a leader in the democratic system of like ancient Athens and making like a killing.
No.
You were already rich.
Yeah.
You did it for a bit. You fucked off.
Yeah. You worked. Basically, it was a job. It was service.
It's something you had to do. No one
Yeah.
was like. It was like, oh, it's like jury duty. Oh,
Yeah.
fuck, it's my turn to be in charge.
Exactly.
You know, you do. a
But
bad
for the
job.
record, people saying we should do that here, we can't do that here because Athens was smaller back in the day. It's different.
we could do it
story.
on a local scale.
Here,
Like
dude,
municipally.
No, I do not want. Just like I don't like the fact that super rich people take over. I don't need a retard taking over the government for 6 months.
I mean, there are.
We need
dangers
to
and
force.
pitfalls. Yeah.
We need to force our best to cycle through. Meaning, it needs to be peer reviewed. For example, when you attain a certain level in a certain job, that would make sense. Like let's say a surgeon, a doctor, a teacher. Teachers go through a lot of
A
shit.
surgeon or a doctor, unless they're running the health ministry,
Yeah.
know about running a country.
What does Legault know about running a country?
Nothing. I'm
Okay,
not
so
saying that
that's
the
what I'm
sys-
saying.
But
No,
the
that's what I'm
system is
saying.
already flawed. Don't use it as an
Because
example.
there's no job that is senior VP of running the country.
No,
so
but
what I'm
I mean,
saying
he
is
ran Air
people
Transat.
that are yeah.
I mean, yeah.
People that are qualified. So, for example, a doctor, right? Or a surgeon. A surgeon is someone who theoretically they're a good surgeon and they made it there.
They're very intelligent.
Number one, they're intelligent. They could study.
They can
They're
work under
under
pressure.
pressure. They work
right,
well.
you're right, you're
They've
right.
had people's lives in their hands, right? So these types of people, I would be more willing to get someone who peer reviewed. They're like, not only is he a good surgeon, this guy's a fucking good guy too. I would be more willing to put all my backing behind someone like that for a small term, service, trusting than some guy who's like, hey, buddy, may I buy a $5 million home? You can't afford rent 500 is your problem. I'd rather have the surgeon being forced into it. He's like, I don't want to do this. I fucking hate politics. Get in there and fucking do it, surgeon. Than have these assholes. That's what
Or
I'm
a
saying.
psychologist
That's what I
also.
want. I mean, also true, but they might just run fucking mass scale experiments on us. Who knows, right? You can't trust those guys.
Yes.
Fucking shrinks. No, but that's the thing. Everyone should be hesitant.
Yeah.
No one should be happy to do it.
That's
Yes.
why.
Right?
Yes.
Like I remember my dad, who it's a much smaller scale. He was in community politics. I mean, he liked doing it, but there was a part of him who was like, "Why am I doing this?" But he did it the best that he could, right? And that's a very, very
This is gonna sound
specific example.
crazy, but the only guy who shouldn't have done it, but at the same time, I understand why he wanted to do it, and he's a bit of a dummy, but I get, is Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'll tell you why. He was so appreciative of what he had in America, and he loved California. Even though he shouldn't, in the sense
California.
that he had money as a movie star, he was free. He
didn't need to.
He didn't need to, but he actually legitimately wanted to. He wasn't reluctant, and he even wanted to be president. If the rules were different, this guy would have ran for president.
Yeah.
So people like that I can get.
And he came from the bottom.
Dude, he came from another country. He lived the American dream. So guys
Austrian,
like him,
right?
yeah, he's Austrian. So guys like him, I get it, being like, I gotta give something back. I want to be part of the, like, this place gave me everything. I get that.
The Governor.
The Governor, I get that. That I get. But to just have people
Whatever
that
happened
go,
with Caitlyn Jenner? She running?
Caitlyn
It's
Jenner is
happening?
running for governor, I think,
Of
California.
California also, huh?
Hilarious.
It's pretty hilarious. It's pretty fucking hilarious.
But you know what? More power to Caitlyn Jenner. I don't live in California. I mean, they had an actor.
Caitlyn Jenner's never showed me that they can struggle through adversity. They've always been. I mean, she was an athlete, and then what is she now? Like, how do they make a living?
Woman of the year every year.
Okay,
sir.
no, listen. Real things,
Woman of the year. It's a real award.
quantifiable things.
Woman of the year.
Fine, all right. So we'll leave it
Also,
at that.
terrible driver murder.
Oh, there was that.
Yeah,
I forgot about
there's
that.
Yeah.
Pick an actor
Did that
who
happen
should
as
be
a
in
man or
charge.
woman? The driving murder.
He's talking about Caitlyn or Bruce. Are you talking about Caitlyn or Bruce?
Hmm?
Who are you talking about, Caitlyn or Bruce? The murderer.
Caitlyn murdered. I think Caitlyn murdered. Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, no, it wasn't super long. It was during the transitionary period.
Oh.
Caitlyn murdered. Bruce was an Olympian, so Bruce definitely knows about. Caitlyn is the evolution of Bruce, so definitely knows about adversity. People make fun of Caitlyn Jenner all the time. So and sometimes doesn't
Thick
seem
skin.
to. Yeah, thin skin, thick skin.
skin.
It doesn't seem to give a fuck.
Hey, maybe she's the right choice. I don't know.
I don't fucking know.
California, maybe.
California, who gives a shit?
Isn't everyone moving out of California anyways?
Not
I don't
everyone.
think that's true.
Yeah. So who knows? Like the governor surprised everyone. Sometimes you need an outsider like that. Like I never thought of like Caitlyn Jenner in politics.
Me
So
neither.
you never fucking know. Might surprise everyone. Because Caitlyn Jenner did say something, tweet something last week that surprised me. Joy Behar was getting shat on for misgendering Caitlyn Jenner on The View
Who? Joy
Behar.
Behar? Yeah, I guess it's
on
the View.
The
Yeah,
View.
yeah, it's the View.
for saying he instead like splitting, but kind of like I do, not purposely to fuck with you. It's just
to-
you're thinking of the
yeah,
person.
yeah.
Anyways, so we're like, oh, you should be. And then Caitlyn Jenner's like, I don't give a fuck. First of all, we have more important things to deal with than pronouns.
Second of all, I'm super
Yeah.
rich, so I don't care.
And I like that because the pronoun thing was a big argument for a while. And
Yeah.
Caitlyn Jenner's like, yeah, I don't give a shit. Bro. That's what we're gonna argue about. Like we have problems. I'm gonna argue about
Unless
pronouns.
you're purposefully doing it to hurt someone's feelings, it doesn't make a difference.
Even at that, there's limits too. It's like I don't give a fuck.
Also.
Fuck off. Like I give a shit.
Also.
I gotta live. So even saying that, that's more mature than most of the politicians that are out there right now. I'm just saying.
I don't disagree with you.
It also makes it seem like the trannies may be a lot less sensitive than what
I don't
they
think you-
than what they say they are.
Yeah, that helps. That exact sentence helps. That's the sentence. That's it. That's
Yes.
I'm gonna get up while he's still laughing. It's
funny.
I have to.
no. It's no. Stop, bro. Leave him.
People need to see that he's turned the same color
As his shirt.
Not red. Not red because he's ashamed of what he said. Purple because he's not breathing. He's laughing so hard at his own stupidity.
It's
I'm
funny.
proud.
No, he knows. That's a good
Do the
joke.
sound effect.
Got the point. Yeah, no, it was a good joke. It was funny.
My
It was,
face
good.
hurts
It was
from
very.
laughing.
It was well timed. It was good. Poseidon. We should make a sketch where they're voting. When was it they voted here for gay marriage to be a
A
thing?
long time ago. No?
No, it wasn't our time. It was like around high school times, I think.
I mean, that could still be
We
a
should
long
have
time ago.
a
We're pretty
sketch
old
where
now.
Poseidon is a politician. We have like he's wearing a fucked up suit, and he comes out. He's like, "But hold on a second.
I wear so like a drug lord.
Yeah, no, not a drug
No,
lord. No, it's
high,
fine.
high
No,
shoulder
no.
pads.
He looks like a Rob Ford. I'm thinking.
Okay, all
I'm
right.
thinking him in Rob Ford
Disgusting,
style.
okay.
Yeah, and then he's like,
Rob Ford?
let's see Rob Ford, and then he's like, so hold on a second.
Yeah.
First, these homos are gonna get married, then they're gonna be able to drive, and then just have people like, what are you talking about? What are you saying? What are you fucking saying? Just have that. Just have like just a brain fart moment.
Oh shit.
Tony Ford.
Tony Ford, yeah, something
Tony
like that.
Hugo.
Yeah. Some of these fucking, it's so stupid.
So ridiculous.
I never understood that either. I never understood the gay marriage debate either. What the fuck do you care?
Seriously.
No.
I never understood how that's the government's business.
I don't understand how any of it is the government's business.
That's overreach. Yeah.
Yeah, just anything. Like,
I mean, some things are the government's business, but not this.
well, I mean,
Marrying kids, different story.
Yeah,
you want to
of
marry a
course, there
kid?
you go.
Yeah, the government has to get involved.
That-
The
once you're both
authorities.
consenting adults, who cares?
bestiality.
Yeah.
because it's
Even polygamy, the fact that it's outlawed. What do we?
Yeah,
care?
I don't. That's
I don't
yeah,
care.
yeah. Even that.
outlawed.
Yeah, of course. Here it's outlawed.
what?
Polygamy. Yeah,
Actually, I don't
it's
know if in
illegal.
Canada
Here.
if it's.
It's illegal here.
Canada,
Hold on. What do you,
polygamy.
Polygamy is you're married to multiple people at once. So you have like 5 wives. Yeah. In the Muslim world, you could do that in some countries.
yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah,
here.
invalid
But I
in
mean-
Canada. Yeah.
You can't do it.
I've seen videos of
I'm just saying
multiple
legally
women
you can't.
dating one man and they're all
Not
together.
dating one man, bro. We're talking about married. Actually, like
Yes.
married. Yeah. It's illegal. So
Well, there's a whole article about why Canada has outlawed it. So I'm gonna read this later.
I wonder if it's just because of cultural norms or if it's because people are trying to get money. Like I'm married 5 times, bro. Give me some checks. I don't know. You know, like
That would make sense though.
Quickly, as I was scanning through what I just found, one of the things was about women's rights because a lot of times they get forced into it.
okay, that's a different story.
Right?
That's not. I'm not for that.
Yeah, but
that's
I'm
in
just
Saudi Arabia.
I'm just
No,
saying. No, he's talking
apparently
about why
it
it's
happens
outlawed
here.
here in Canada.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you have people that come from those places and then they do shit like that.
Okay.
So that's what
no.
they're nervous about.
Actually, we're talking about like Mormons and shit.
Yeah, that's
Like,
fucked
yeah.
up too. Mormons. But anyways, I don't give a shit. Is what I'm saying. As long as it's consensual adults, it's none of my fucking business. And the fact that the government is gonna ask you who you're banging or who—that's crazy shit to me.
Crazy. I mean,
That's
they don't even
crazy.
need to ask now with this new bill.
None
They
of
can
your
just check your search
fucking
history.
business.
And the other thing that makes sense to be outlawed would be bestiality.
Well,
I feel like we shouldn't have to outlaw it.
You would
because
never
you
get laid.
think-
I knew you were gonna say that.
you set it up, you warthog.
I know.
Are you aching? Yup, for some bacon.
No, but I mean, because technically it's animal
I
abuse.
just got this fucking.
Yeah, fucking
You know what I
animals.
mean?
I'm with you. No. I'm saying consensual adults. Consensual adults that don't have brain damage. Consensual adults.
Exactly.
It's none of my fucking business, bro.
How can
And
an
when
animal
I
consent?
said it shouldn't have to be outlawed, I mean, because I would hope that people know not to fucking rape animals.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
no,
I mean.
no. But that's why I
No,
don't,
but
I don't
mean,
like
you know how
tabloids.
some people are.
That's why I don't like tabloids either. You know when
Oh.
they're like, Brad, is he fucking Angelina or is he? It's none of my business.
The fucking
And the whole
vintage
thing,
reference.
the whole thing of you're a celebrity, you know, they're celebrities, so they're fair game. No, they're not. Because they're giving you what they're public for. They're public actors, singers, I don't know, fucking painters, whatever the fuck you want, right? Their personal shit has nothing to do with that. Like, it's none of my business, bro. I don't care. That's why I got pissed off at, remember the fappening when they stole the photos from those chicks' phones, like Jennifer Lawrence and all that? The reason why I didn't like that shit is because they didn't put it out.
Yeah.
It's weird because you're giving people, you're saying you're for it, but you're not really for it. You know why? Because if I did it to you, you wouldn't fucking like that.
No.
If I released images of you, Nate, you wouldn't fucking like that. So why is it fair to do it to them? And they go, because they're public figures. Yeah, public for a
So?
movie. What they're doing for first of all, the second you walk out of your house, you're public.
Fair.
The second you walk out of your fucking house, you're public.
Yeah.
Somebody takes a video of you and you go famous on YouTube because you did something stupid. They're allowed to then post your personal shit. I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit.
I mean, you can't really create laws about that would actually be enforceable and make sense. It's just a question of people being less fucking dicky.
I was watching for the 3rd time since it came out. Do you remember there was a documentary on Netflix? It's there now. It's called Nobody Speak. It was about Gawker and the Hulk Hogan trial. So I only realized now watching it. So Gawker, I always hated Gawker. Gawker's full of shit.
I don't know who that is.
It's a tabloid.
They tried
file.
so hard to make themselves in the documentary look like victims because Peter Thiel got involved and was funding a lot of shit, which is pretty fucking hilarious. He's a fucking robot. They tried so hard to make themselves look like innocent journalists trying to do the right thing in showing Hulk Hogan's penis. And
I remember
no matter
this. I
how
forgot
hard
this
they tried,
happened.
this is their documentary.
Uh-huh.
To anyone with a pulse or a brain, they look like the villains. They were
That's
like,
because they are.
yeah, dude, Hulk Hogan is 100. They go, well, he's Hulk Hogan. He's super public, and he talks about his sexual exploits. So why can't we show a sex tape that was recorded of him that he did not give us to the public?
Yeah, fuck them.
Bro, crazy. And I'm like, how is this defense? And then they go, journalism. Is journalism really going to be shut down? It's just like Trump. They just don't like journalists. Are we real? You showed a sex tape that the guy didn't give you. The guy didn't give you rights to. What are you talking about? That journalism is dead when you decide that that's journalism.
Why'd you watch this documentary 3 times?
I put it in the background a lot.
Oh, okay.
And I hadn't seen it in months. Like I didn't have it in the background. I put it in the background like a day or two ago, and I paid attention this time. And I was like, why are they trying to make themselves look like they're heroes? Like we're brave journalists showing actors' penises. What are you talking about, bro? That's
The self-righteous nerve of some of these fucking. Anyways,
yeah.
What can you actually say about that? That's just fucking. That's society's. That's a failure in society.
Yeah. I don't like when they don't. And when I was young, I never realized that. When I was young, you know the paparazzi stuff?
Yeah.
When they harass and this and that. Never in my head that I think, remember the actors like, yo, that actor went crazy. He punched a paparazzo in the face. I get it.
Me too, I get it.
I get it. I told you in 2013 when they were yelling at people at the red carpet, bro, they yell obscene shit to actors to get reactions, bro.
Yeah, of course.
They swear that, bro, they're cocksuckers. They're vultures. I get it. Especially imagine you're there, you're going to, I don't know, take your kids somewhere, and then you have this fucking asshole with a camera up your ass. Like,
what was that movie with Jake Gyllenhaal where he's like a paparazzi or he's
Night Stalker.
Night Stalker. That was a great movie.
Me, what pisses me off.
Or Stalker, or no, Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler. That was a good movie.
That was a good X-Men. I like Nightcrawler.
Yeah, he was a fun X-Men.
Me, what really pisses me off is when they release articles trying to make the celebrity look like an asshole. Like this happened to Kanye West a lot. At some point, I think Kanye West got into a scrap with the paparazzi.
Yeah, and they make him look like he's the bad guy. And Kanye West, it's easy to make him look like he's the bad guy because he says crazy shit all the time.
Yeah.
So they're like, look, he's just unstable. But then you think about it. You have your kids. There's a guy in your driveway snapping pictures of your babies.
Taking a video.
Oh, I saw that,
Taking videos of your fucking babies. And they're yelling stuff.
This was in the middle of the night, too.
Fuck out in the middle of the night. Get the fuck out of here.
yeah,
What do you think I would do if somebody would do that? This is why I don't want to. It's better
Sorry,
to.
you don't have a gun.
I don't want to be
And
famous.
they're lucky it was Kanye West, because if that was me and I had that private property and everything, they wouldn't be hearing "go fuck yourself." They would
be hearing gunshots.
They would be hearing a shotgun cocking.
Yeah, no, I don't like that shit.
Legit.
That's complete.
What?
I just laughed because I turned as you were saying you were doing
Cock.
this and saying cocking.
No, but that's how you cock a shotgun.
I'm not disagreeing with you. You're right. That's exactly.
Oh,
how
I
So
see.
you're saying
I-
cock and you're stroking it. It looks
No,
odd.
you're not stroking anything. You're just going like this.
I don't know how you. Anyways,
By the way, you guys can't see him, but this Poseidon is like, bro, you're not stroking. You're just cocking. You're just
and
cocking
his
like
thumb
that.
is up too,
Yeah,
just so you can
cocking.
like.
No, that's not what I did, because that's how you grab the.
that's the balls?
That big,
No,
bro. You got
this
the bottom
is-
of the shaft.
No, or if you're like
wish you had a
this,
camera.
or if you're like
I
this,
wish you had a camera.
if you're like this, you go.
I'm not even looking anymore. I can't. You try to help yourself from like something you didn't need to help yourself for. It was just a funny thing.
But that's the whole point of a
Calm down.
shotgun.
But you
It's
made it work.
you're cocking it.
Point of a
Because it's like you're holding. It's like an extension of your cock. That was a lame joke.
I
forget
don't
it.
know what that was. That literally stopped me in my tracks. I'm like, what did he just say?
The lunacy.
He said the what now?
The point is, we shouldn't be. We should.
Poseidon masturbates furiously in the window.
We shouldn't be. We shouldn't be for that.
No,
Because
cocking
society
a
we've
shotgun.
become very voyeuristic.
It already is.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
already
We've become very voyeuristic the last 20, 30 years. We shouldn't be for the invasion of people's privacy.
No, absolutely.
Anybody,
not.
public. I don't give a like public figure like me. I don't give a shit if Trudeau is cheating on his wife. She's cheating on him. This and that. We can make fun of him. I don't want people actively going to be like, who is she banging? What is he? That's crazy. Fucking make fun of all the political shit. Make fun of all the stupid stuff he says. Make fun of it.
You got plenty of material there.
You got plenty of material. Don't go spy on shit that has nothing to do with this job. You know what I'm saying? That's what fucks with me always.
But the fact that people are even interested in that.
But that's the voyeuristic culture. We're interested. I want to know the stuff that I'm not supposed to know about him. Imagine if people were that interested about the stuff they're not supposed to know in government, in the shit they're doing to us. Imagine if they were that interested. That would fucking help us.
Yeah.
But instead, they put their efforts on how big is his dick?
Yeah. Or what size tits? Or yeah.
Oh, I thought he was dating Selena. Maybe it's a cover. Maybe he's actually dating Tom. Like, you know, like who the fuck cares? The fuck do I care?
Yeah.
Celebrity is a weird thing.
Yeah.
The obsession that people have, and how people believe that because they watched you do something. I don't mean us.
They're entitled to your life,
to your time,
your
to
whole life.
to everything.
Yeah.
I mean, what is that? Like he's that using a male actor as an example.
Yeah.
That actor gave you something. You didn't give him something. He doesn't owe you something. If anything, you owe them something. You know what I mean? Like
I don't know. It's not even about
I'm
owing.
Not saying they owe. I'm not saying they would, but by their logic, you would owe the actor something by your own logic.
Yeah.
No one owes anyone anything. I'm just saying it's.
But it's not even. I don't
weird.
think they feel like they're owed it. I feel they think that that's just the way things work.
Maybe.
Like, oh, now you're in the public, so you're allowed to get spied on. It's just fucked up because psychologically that's gotta fuck. Especially if you have kids.
I remember I used to when I rented cars. I used to have clients that because
High profile.
no, their licenses wouldn't pass. they would blink red, so that means their licenses weren't valid.
Okay.
They would then film you and call you racist. And then when you tell them, please don't film, they'll tell you, oh, you work with the public.
Oh, that's interesting. You work with the public.
Yeah.
Please don't film. Well,
I mean, you're not a public official.
you're not a
working
public
for
official
private
at all.
entity.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. That's
You're-
stupid.
That's
Yeah.
stupid. Yeah. That's not how that works.
Yeah, I know.
But also, even at that, it's weird that they film you and call you racist because they didn't renew their license.
Yeah.
Wait, why are you saying I'm racist because I can read?
And then you know what's funny? Because we at some point we got the machine to scan licenses, and then we'd put it on the first of all, some of them I knew were fake.
By the way, look at what Mademoiselle wrote.
Yeah.
100%. Annabelle is a perfect example.
Yeah, she complained about it on the last
Yeah, there's always weirdos.
on the last if you guys go back the episode, not the one I did this week, the week before, if you guys go back and listen to it, she was complaining about it.
Yeah, weirdos.
And I get her 100%.
Yeah, weirdos trying to get involved in your personal shit.
That's so fucked up. I didn't hear the story, but I can imagine.
Yeah,
Just go listen. I don't remember all of it. Go listen to Annabella, I bet.
creepy dudes.
Yeah.
They think they're gonna get laid if they corner you.
That's fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a specific kind of human being, not all of them, but like I'd say 95% of the human beings who would solicit a sex worker. I mean, they all have the potential to be weird guys. Not everyone.
No.
A large subsection.
It depends.
Of
It
them.
depends
No,
on your
no.
mentality.
Yeah, I thought because I used to think like you too, and then
Yeah.
now I've fucking
Yeah?
met people. Yeah, I've had
Yeah.
discussions.
Not everyone.
I see-
I'm not saying
no,
everyone.
And also,
it's not at all.
you
You
can-
can even have people because a lot of the people that do that is even people who weren't even customers, just weirdos. It's just you have the
No.
same mentality I had because I look at him, but it's so. It's never who you'd expect is what's crazy. Is it's going to be the quiet accountant who has his wife or whatever and then is harassing someone online. Like it's the,
Yeah.
you're like, why the fuck is this guy taking time out of his day to go and harass a sex worker or to go and harass a straight? It's the weirdest people that do it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And also, I spoke to what's her name? Because I had Sonia on last episode. Sonia and her friend Rosalind. Apparently, sex workers are some of the most like online. They're incredibly like harassed.
Oh,
Like, if
but
they're
yeah.
hated
Not
on. They're
surprised.
hated
Yeah,
on.
they're hated on. Yeah.
Heavy, which I don't understand.
Yeah, it's all those fucking incels.
Yeah, it's very incel like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
I can't get laid, so fuck you, hottie. It's crazy.
Yeah.
May
I have the? May I like
There's
the?
a T-shirt.
Yeah.
I,
I can't
may,
get
I,
laid. Fuck
may,
you,
may
hottie.
I like the Jordan Belfort approach to it?
Drugs.
No.
Approach to what?
To escorts.
Which
That's not what we're talking about. Hold on, but what,
I'm curious to see where this goes.
Oh no, because
though.
we're talking about mentality. Also, the mentality.
but we're talking about anyways.
Just
Oh,
tell me
okay,
the
never-
approach.
You
I'm not
really
gonna know.
felt
I
like
just
you wanted to say
no. I
say
just
it.
realized it doesn't make any sense, so I'm not gonna say it. It's stupid.
I mean, that's all we had for the morning show today.
That is all we have for the morning show. Poseidon, cue the muse.
Way to end on a high
Ladies
note,
and gentlemen.
Poseidon.
Head over to patreon.com/Pantelis. There's a bonus cast that dropped 2 days ago with myself, that monkey of a man, and Spiro. It was a
Monkey.
great episode. We talk about the Pornhub house that caught fire. We got some suspicious information on that. So it's very, very cool. It was a great, fun episode. Also, I just dropped a new Pantelis podcast with Wasim. Wasim El Munzer was in studio, and we had a very fun episode with Wasim, even though he showed up late.
He really did show up.
He
late.
showed up an hour late. I love it.
He did not even salute me when he entered. He just entered and did not speak to me.
It's a good. Every time I do podcasts with Wasim, it's always good because we have a good rapport, me and him. So it's a very good episode. It'll be up for everyone else on Monday. But if you're a patron, you already have it now. And if you're not a patron, what are you doing? Support the arts. Become a patron of the arts. Patreon.com/Pantelis. Join Poseidon online. Poseidon plays video games on Twitch. Twitch.tv/ThePoseidon69. ThePoseidon69, coincidentally, also his handle on Instagram and Twitter. Follow him, watch his videos. He's a wacky good time. Phil, on the other
Doing
hand,
that weird thing he does where he blinks.
look in the description. Phil's links are there. Click on them. Phil does many things. One of them is he's a father. You have
I am a father.
no business in that. That would be weird if you help him be a father. Number 2, he makes films. And he could make films or commercials for you. Link in the description. He's a professional filmmaker. He could make a very good commercial for you. So you stop looking like a Radio Shack and you look more like a Best Buy. You feel me, dog? You feel me?
Remember Dumoulin?
No. I don't.
No?
Never been to Dumoulin.
Like before the source.
Oh, I remember Centre Hifi.
Oh, Centre Hifi became Dumoulin for a while.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah,
So-
battlebattles.com. You guys can check it.
Yeah, balbalance.com. Check him out. Also, he has podcasts. Phil Balbalance has Fill My Hole. If you thought that Gay Dads was gay, Fill My Hole. It's right up your alley.
Which has been on hiatus, but guys, I have a new program coming out at the end of next month. I'm not going to say much about it. Feel my whole will return. With something a little extra for you.
A little extra. New month is starting on Patreon. Look at whatever fields you might want to become a Poseidon. You might want to become a fucking audio VIP. Who knows? Pantelis Nation. Go over there. Thank you guys for checking us out. Don't forget to check out George's podcast, 2 Drink Minimum every week. Best fucking podcast in Canada. Check us out. Thank you very much. Go fuck yourselves.
Good morning.